Want to raise your chess to a new level? Challenge Yourself is an exclusive, innovative experience designed for Chess24 Premium members. Train like a champ, with a unique set of lessons prepared by the coaches of the challengers. Boris, Gelfand and co will help you improve your chess. Play a champ. Play a grandmaster each day in Banter Blitz. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity from June 10th. Go premium and challenge yourself.
Watch chess tournaments online? Don't just watch. Go to Chess24 and make it an interactive learning experience. You get live commentary in multiple languages, including different streams in English from beginner to expert. It's not just commentary, since there's also an interactive live board. Choose your game and try out your own moves. All moves by the players get near-instant cloud analysis from the latest chess engine, which will also analyze any move made by a premium user. Open the tab Opening Tree. It contains a database of 500 million positions from historical games. Has the current position ever occurred before? What did the best players play? The database tab lets you search full games and load them on the interactive board. There are many more tools for chess learners and experts. Come to Chess24 to watch all the online and over-the-board chess tournaments happening worldwide. Discover a new way to watch chess. Be part of the experience.
If the rook goes to f7, then there is still
ours on g4. So after king to f6 and king to f2.
Tenemos el rey ahí n8 un poco mal, no podemos enrocar corto.
Y también se puede hacer, por ejemplo, alfil g4.
Защиту. Но пока что они этого не делают, играют ферзь d2, рокировка и теперь играют c4.
Thank you so much for the lessons.
Gracias por las clases.
Gracias por las clases.
Welcome everybody. This is the third day of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour, and today we have a very special commentator here with us in the studio. It's Boris Gelfand. Hello, Boris.
Hi Arturs. Hi everyone.
Right. It's been absolute. Of course, it's an absolute honor to have you here. And also, a moment later, we will be joined by the former world champion Vladimir Kramnik and follow the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, which is the third tournament of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour. Boris, have you been following the tournament so far?
Yeah, sure. I have been following the whole tour and the tournament itself. A lot of interesting games. Also, I have my group of players whom I mentor and teach. So I'm following all their game. In this tournament, only Prague is playing, but so far he is impressive.
Right, indeed. So I also suggest that probably we should start to follow the first game, which is going to be Pragananda against Christopher Woojin Yu, which starts in something like 5 minutes. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
Yeah, sure.
All right, maybe
Always
while we
nice to look at the game of a leader, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're very worse opponent.
Yeah. Maybe while we are waiting for it, you could tell something a little bit about yourself, what you're doing lately, and how exactly was your work going with the team Kramnik, because you're one of the coaches of Team Kramnik. You also had your own chess challenge here in the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour. What you have been working on in the past weeks and months?
Yeah, I had when Corona started, I started to do a lot of online courses for promising talented players in the world, and the Chess24 project is Kramnik-Polgar match. In Kramnik-Polgar match, it's an important one, and I have a group of 4 players. Prague, Rebecca Dusatorov, Dinara Sudoakarska, and Olga Padelka. And we have regular sessions with them. I think part of the sessions are available for premium members. And I try to share my experience, and most important, my main goal is to give them my advice how to work on chess. Okay, it's limited time, and it's a group sessions normally. So I focus on analyzing one's games, to teach them how to analyze their own game. It's because I think it's vital for improvement of young players. And also nowadays, I believe too often people just look at the telephone or first line of an engine on the viewer and think they analyze the game. And it's not the case. It's one of the messages I want to show them. I want to do my best to influence their attitude to chess, to underline the topics they should work on all together and separately for each one. And that was the main topic of this project. I think it's all these junior players who participate in this project are really privileged to have it from my part, from other coaches' part. I saw there was an amazing masterclass of Vladimir Kramnik. So a really great event. I'm really happy to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely indeed. And yeah, so let's wait for the game to start. I believe we have still something like 2 minutes. Apart from that, what else you've been doing lately? Maybe some of the viewers who are watching, I believe you can also ask some questions to Boris Gelfand here with us. That's why I want to mention we're following the chat both at YouTube and Twitch. Maybe you could tell something. What else? What else is interesting that maybe the public doesn't know?
Well, recently, surprisingly, I started to play a lot of chess. Because the tournament started to return, and I played some really quite a few tournaments, and some tournaments I will play later this year. And yeah, but because of the Corona, I had a lot of this was not possible, and but I'm happy I had a lot of online camps for different parts of the world, and I think most of the these promising junior players had been at least in one of my camps.
Right. All right. Are you writing any new books recently? Because I know you've written some very good books.
These 4 books were really, both me and my co-author Jakob did. We put a lot of effort, so time maybe to calm down, to take a pause. Probably we'll be back after some time, but for the moment, we devoted so much energy, and we try, because we are maximalists. If you do, we want to be as perfect as possible. So
right.
It's time to make a short break, let everyone who wants to read these books, and then we'll see what will happen.
Right. All right. And as we can see, the first round of today, or the round 10 of the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, has started, and very quickly I'll mention the current overall standings, which is after round 9, after 2 days of playing, which is Pragananda leads the tournament with a perfect 9 out of 9. So I think that's quite incredible, because this is no mere open tournament. It's a tournament where the youngest and brightest chess players all the world are playing, and yet he's leading the charge with a perfect score. What do you think, Boris? What can be said about that?
Sorry?
I mean, about Prague's perfect score, 9 out of 9. It's definitely must be delivering some kind of a very strong impression that we are expecting big things from the young Indian player.
Yeah, sure. But first of all, it doesn't surprise me. It's clear he has also potential. Of course, 9 out of 9, it's impressive, but he has also potential to reach the highest goals. And I think he's so devoted to chess. I think each moment either he plays somewhere or he's studying chess. So each of the success he has doesn't surprise me. Of course, there are still some drawbacks he has to work on. His game is far from perfect, but I think the potential is enormous, his potential.
Yeah, indeed. And I also have to mention that currently in the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, the overall rankings, from the first 5 players, 4 players are from Team Kramnik. And again, there is the whole race. Both teams are racing to be the one who is going to get tickets for the World Championship match in Dubai, to see the match between Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi in action. And in the meantime, the current overall rankings are that Team Polgar is far away. Team Kramnik, at least, has been doing really, really excellent in the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge.
Yes, but unfortunately, I think we are too far behind to catch up. I'm not sure if it's still theoretically possible, but even if so, it requires miracles.
Right. And actually, maybe today the miracle happened because you joined us here in the studio. I mean, that's an extra pressure for the players, because, I mean, their coach is watching, and also the mentor is going to be here. I mean, Vladimir Kramnik is going to join us at some point, and I think the students will want to perform themselves really good now that they know that they're being watched.
Yeah, but I think, honestly, they're sure they will follow them. They have no doubt that even if you don't comment this day, or even if you are busy this day, each and every game of them will go under our supervision, and I will tell them which game what I approve, which game what went wrong. I have a file where I note all these things, and when we have these sessions, which started as a weekly sessions, but now it's a bit more chaotic because, okay, everyone has his own schedule or her own schedule. People started playing more. due to open opportunities. But still, I think it's very vital for the players, and especially for the young players, to analyze their own games.
Right. All right, so we have this game currently ongoing between Prague and Anda against Christopher Rugen Yu, because Prague, as already mentioned, is currently the leader of the tournament with 9 out of 9, and Christopher is in the 3rd place with 6 points. So this is a very, very critical game. Although between teammates, right, the team players of the same team, they are playing between each other as well, but still very interesting for the current standings in the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge. Boris, what do you think about this position? Is it definitely familiar to you?
I think it's really, kind of, it's familiar, especially if you think from if it's an opposite color. It happens quite often. Let's say d4, knight f6, knight f3, b6. Bishop g5, e6, and then we trap this bishop, maybe h6. Okay, doesn't matter. h6, bishop h4. It's, the typical position, g5, knight h5. We get the same position, and okay, I think it's quite typical for modern chess, that especially for rapid, that players try to avoid the heavy theoretical battles and just play some position with all the pieces on the board.
All right, indeed. So now bishop b4 check is played on the board. I guess knight e2 most likely will follow. What kind of plan do you think white should go for here? I mean, try to take the bishop here on g6 and go for the 2 bishop advantage, or maybe, I don't know, try to squeeze the position a little, maybe push g5, the knight away, get to the pawn on g7.
No, I think white's idea is to develop pieces first of all, and then try to to see what black are doing, because take on g6 is always an option. It's hard to foresee how black will be able to avoid it.
Right.
So white will develop pieces. Knight d2, have to be careful with knight d4. Likely it doesn't work, but just to mention that have to be careful with the trick. D, queen h4, some pawn sack. I'm not sure how good this is. Maybe it's okay for black, because they get all their pieces into the game.
Right. So maybe this is indeed a very smart play by Christopher, because after bishop b4 check, now it's white who needs to understand this. I mean, white cannot simply play knight e2 without not expecting that knight e4 will not follow. So actually, this is what happened. c3 is on the board.
c3, but c3, it's a kind of a small concession at all. I think pawn is better placed on c2 than on c4. Maybe at the end of the day, this pawn would end up on c4 anyway. But for the moment, it brings some disharmony into white's camp, somewhere they have to be more careful when developing their pieces. I think it shows that also Christopher, I'm sure he is familiar with typical patterns, to give these intermediate checks. It's a good pattern, and Christopher is improving also drastically, and really interesting to follow this game between two of the leaders. Also Vincent in the leaders group, but also both. Basically, for the moment, I think if someone can catch up with Prague, it's only Vincent and Christopher.
Right. You mean in this tournament?
In the
or
tournament,
overall?
No, overall it will be knockout. On the final tournament will be knockout. So I think the rule of thumb, you got to knockout and then it's another tournament.
Yeah, indeed. Again, let me remind you, dear viewers, that this is fourth tournament, the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, which is part of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour. And in overall rankings, the top 8 players will qualify for a knockout tournament, which will be played out later in October. And the winner of the event will qualify for the 2021-2022 Meltwater Champions Chess Tour. So a huge prize is at stake.
Yeah, I think it's a real privilege for all these players, both to have possibility to qualify to a tour and also to communicate and to learn from the experienced players.
Yeah, indeed. But Boris, I just noticed this position, and I had a question. I didn't really understand it. So knight x and g6, of course, that's a very natural move, of course, because white is eliminating this bishop. But how would you explain, did really white need to rush with it? Why not bishop g2 right away?
I don't know. I will play bishop g2. I will try to postpone it as long as possible. I mean, capture on g6.
Yeah, I also thought so, but there probably must have been a reason why Prague decided to go for it. But again, I thought that the bishop is not going anywhere, right?
Bishop is not going anywhere. Of course, it's always possible to blunder some tactic. It happens in other positions with knight on h4, but here I don't foresee anything close to it. Yeah, I think probably it will not change much. Probably black will play queen e7 anyway.
Right.
Anyway, white can never play knight d2 before the take on g6. But he can try maybe to play queen e2. But at the end of the day, it will not change much. Sooner or later, he will have to take. I don't think idea of f4 can be really dangerous because f5 is never a threat. Also, the pawn configuration d3, c3, d3, f4 is a bit suspicious.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree. So we have currently this position. So Prague decided to play knight x on g6 early. Queen e7 is on the board. Now the question is white better at all? I mean, if you would have to pick a side, which side would you play here? Is it white or black?
I don't know. I think black are doing fine. They have tendency to choose, let's say if the position is balanced, they have tendency to choose black generally, because it means they already survived the opening part, and here it's a case. I think it's easier to play with black because they can play some kind of natural moves, maybe castle long, etc. And white has to think what to do with their pawn structure. And it's kind of tough decisions. Of course, now black has to decide if they put knight on h4. From one point, it's a bit dangerous that the knight will be left there forever, but also it's ambitious because if the game will be open, okay, then first of all, white's king will have difficulties where to hide,
Yeah, indeed. Knight h5, h4. This is played on the board, and now black will have to be very careful not to shut out the knight from the game for a long time, because this knight is not going anywhere.
Yeah, but here I think they still have. I think black has quite a good potential. Let's say castle long, maybe f6 then, or maybe we can start somewhere with f6. Or I think black are doing fine. I don't think they're better, but they're doing really fine. I would note that both players are playing really slow, So I think they played, I don't know how many, 12 moves, and they already spent more than half of the allocated time,
Yeah, indeed. So that's a bit strange because the position is sort of very standard for these types of positions. But I guess both of them understand the importance of this game, and that's why they want to get the most out of the opening. Boris, I'm looking at this position and I'm wondering. So knight h5, of course, is a big decision here, and it was played rather quickly by Christopher. But I was thinking about, is it possible to play knight g8 with the idea to play after bishop g7, rook h7, and grab the pawn on g5?
Yeah, no, but bishop g7 is not possible. Pawn is on c6.
Oh my goodness.
That's why he played bishop before. But knight g8, it's a legitimate move after h4. The point is he already played queen e7. With queen on d8, it will have more sense because he'll be able to put the knight on e7. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my idea. Remove the queen and put the knight on e7 and knight f5, and then try to target those.
But it's kind of unpleasant. You have to play queen e7 and then to remove queen the following move.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I think it's not consistent. But knight on h5 is fine. C6 is decent move. I don't think it was need for this move, but okay, it will never be a mistake. Yeah, pawn is better placed on c6 rather than c7.
Yeah, indeed. So after h4, c6, this is the current position. Now white needs to figure out how to continue development. I don't know. I mean, I would guess that something like d4, knight e2 is an option. I have a feeling that without d4, white cannot really survive. I mean, not survive, but have a viable plan. What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard, but from our point of view, it's I think it's much more difficult to play with white as we spoke, because if he'll play d4, then maybe e5 can be unpleasant, and then ed is a threat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's hard, as you are right. It's hard to find a plan without it. Maybe we can start with queen e2, knight d2, long castle, and then decide.
Right. So let's say I'm playing a long castle here. Knight e2. I was thinking, should black include bishop a3, the bishop trade, because I think that one of the ideas of positioning the queen on e7 and the bishop on d6 is trade off some pieces so that black's position is not so cramped.
No, it's fine. It's fine, but also white can castle long, probably with the balanced position. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Also, probably exchanges favors white because knight is on h5. Yeah. If you trade few pieces, we can maybe one day hope to prove that knight on h5 is cut. But he played a3, really. He is afraid of this bishop a3, which is really too ambitious, in my opinion. Yeah.
So he was concerned about it.
Yeah, definitely. But this pawn line, looks like a bit strange for me. Yeah.
A lot
it's
of possibilities.
Very common thing. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of possibilities to improvise for white. I mean, there's no knowing what white will do next. Maybe b4, maybe c4, maybe d4, probably not e4. And f6 is played.
Okay, it's very logical, yeah.
Yeah,
no, but I think things are. I like black's position. I really like black's position. I'm not sure to take with a g pawn was the best. He could take with a piece. Maybe to try to use the pressure over f line, but also like this, I think now knight on h5 is not an issue. You can always play, let's say, f5 and bring knight into the game. I think now I will definitely take black.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, can I play? Oh, queen g4 is knight e5. I cannot even do that. I want to apply some pressure against this pawn, but that's not possible.
No, you can do it. Then you'll play queen e2 and you win a tempo to play d4 next move. It's not that it has sense. But also, I think both of the players has more or less definitely less than 3 minutes left on their clocks, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Which is okay. They will. Okay, 5-second increment. It's not 1 second increment, but still.
Yeah, but both players are very fast players that accelerate the time controls, and I think this is also what makes the current age of the players really unique. That seemingly they don't have so much experience playing over the board, but if you check any single young player, they have literally thousands and thousands of games being played online.
It's true, but it's a good question if it helps them or does damage to them. It's an open question. I think it's a question of proportions. Of course, this huge practice helps in certain way, but also it develops habit to make a move without thinking.
Right.
So, which is a horrible habit.
Yeah, so now
who knows Okay, it has pros and cons, but also that's reality, yeah?
Yeah.
Probably some interesting really blitz tournaments, but also probably kind of addiction, yeah? I think both of them are, I think instead of 95, maybe F5 was winning a pawn or so, no?
I was actually looking at this. I'm not sure that. Oh, wait, knight f5 drops the pawn on h4. I was looking at something like f5, but okay, maybe that.
Maybe knight f3 still, yeah.
Yeah, some kind of a stone wall. I saw a stone wall. I wanted to go for a stone wall and a good stone wall actually, because
fantastic. You can play f5s and e5. But also this position is very good for black. You can maybe castle long simply.
Yeah,
White cannot castle long. And after a long castle, king will be safe forever. Then he can have a lot of possibilities for black.
I think it's already becoming quite clear that White's tricky approach of playing c3 then a3 was a bit slow.
A3 was a horrible move.
Yeah.
I think because actually I understand what according to my understanding, he wanted to prevent bishop a3, and he had an idea that he'll develop all the pieces, but it's so slow that it was not realistic.
Right. So
and now they have position which is also nothing dramatic for white, comfortable for black, but they have like 1.5 minutes each, so anything can happen, yeah?
Yeah, and also the problem for white is that he still cannot castle long. The pawn on a3 is still under attack. So something like, I don't know, what do you play here? e5 is a horrible positional move. f5.
f5, no, horrible move, because now white can play e5, pawn on h4 will never be a target. Knight can go to g5 and maybe castle. Yeah, maybe. Okay, he allowed c5. Maybe he could play a4 or b4 already. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. That's a bit strange decision to play this. f5.
No, but I think they lost control of the game. They're just blitzing, and anything can be expected.
Yeah,
it was really rich position, rich of ideas, but now they will just blitz. Okay, my more or less position is balanced, I think. White will take on g5. Unfortunately for white, he cannot take twice because bishop on g2 will hang. But this position is hard to say.
And still, black is very solid, but I think for white, the worst seemingly is over. Although this knight on e4 could be problematic to get rid of. I mean, something at some point, something very slow, like the knight goes f3 or knight e2, knight e4, looks rather unpleasant.
Yes, it's true, but also okay for black. It's not so easy to find a good plan. Bishop on c7 is really...
Can I play queen a3 here?
Wow. Queen e4.
And queen b2.
Oh, king b2.
And oh, you need to calculate this very far. Yeah, knight g5, the pawn on e6 is
knight g5, but maybe knight e5 to sacrifice knight e6. Who knows? Yeah. Then knight e6 and knight d3. Yeah. It's possible. I wonder if Christopher. I think Christopher noted because he was playing quick, and now he started thinking.
Yeah, this potential fork on c3 looks rather obvious. Okay, he decided not to do it, play it safe. Maybe the right choice.
I think it was the right choice if he'll do it instantly, yeah? But he spent half a minute out of 1 minute and played it. I think he could do the same, you know, and have extra half a minute, yeah?
Yeah, whatever happens, happens, right?
Sorry?
I mean, whatever happens, happens. Queen a3. Yeah, just play.
Yeah.
All right, knight e1 and still queen a3 now is impossible.
No, bishop e4. Now it's he saw it while Christopher was thinking. Now maybe white wants to take bishop on e4, play f3, and count things down. Yeah.
Now I have a feeling that black is still in charge here because now black has some tempos here. Okay, queen g5. I was looking at some c5, but okay, maybe not.
C5 is more natural way to play, yeah, because it's waiting. I will maybe take on e4 and play f3, yeah, just because bishop on g2 hard to see how it can be useful, yeah.
Yeah. So that's sort of a trap. I don't know. Take, rook g3 something. I don't know what this.
Yeah. But now can he? No. Knight d3 maybe he cannot play. Yeah.
Knight d3.
Knight d3 maybe he will play. I don't know.
Queen d2 something.
Queen d2. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the players are down to the last 20 seconds, even less. So every single move adds extra 5 seconds. So very, very tricky position to play in such a time scramble.
Knight d3 still. Queen d2, maybe he wants to take and king c2, yeah?
Take. Yeah.
g5.
It feels very nervous, a very nervous game. I think
Bishop e4, if he wanted to take, he could do it without giving a tempo, yeah?
Yeah.
Or g3 he wants, yeah?
Okay. Queen d8, knight f4. Now this is a weakness on e6. Okay, this is looking a bit risky, or maybe not.
But also risky for both sides, yeah?
For both players, right?
No, g4 I don't like. I would rather put queen on h3 and attack a pawn.
So white has a pass pawn on g4, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Knight h5 maybe, yeah?
Yeah,
I think
h5.
White have to be happy if they draw, yeah? Maybe they're not worse, but it's a very hard to see scenario without blunders where he'll win, yeah?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to tell.
Queen h7.
Queen h7,
Or
some
maybe queen
b3
h6.
checks.
Maybe I missed queen h6.
Queen h6.
Actually, this knight on the 7 is pretty lousy, yeah?
If it gets to f5, then it's good, of course. But now,
Yeah.
now it's very, very solid.
A4 or what? A4 to one with idea bishop a3, but then e3 will go.
I think that black is not really in any danger here. So queen h7.
Absolutely. And also much easier to play with black.
Yeah. So very nice control of the light squares. The bishop on e3 is just a useless piece.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Prague lost control totally. Christopher is outplaying him.
Yeah, now knight f5 comes in, queen g6, knight f5, many easy moves. So
yeah,
Prague
maybe
is on
queen h5, even more tricky.
Queen h5.
Yeah?
Queen h5 also looks very powerful. Yeah, and then maybe knight g6 or knight f5, depending on what Prague will choose.
It's very hard for white to keep any coordination. With queen on h5, queen d1 will be possible in this position.
Queen h5?
Yeah, with an idea, queen d1.
b5, he's seeking some targets at the queen side.
Shall he play d4?
Oh, that looks very
clever,
powerful.
But I don't think it's that good. Yeah, maybe it's good. I don't know. Queen h8. I don't know. It becomes concrete. Maybe e3 is winning. Yeah.
e3 takes. Yeah, and he plays it. Wow, a great move. So I don't think white can take it, and that's it, right? King e2 is the only move already.
But BC, game over.
And BC, and try to make a perpetual check somehow.
Yeah.
King e1.
But no perpetual whatsoever. Whenever king will go to f7 and knight on e7.
Yeah, or this. Yeah, the king will always escape. So that looks like Christopher Wojcicki is going to score the win here, and Prague is about to lose his first game.
Yeah, knight e7 is a... Okay, he wants queen b7, but knight e7 is a solid move. But now queen d3 somewhere, queen e4.
Queen d3, c2, queen d1. There's no perpetual ever. Or queen e4. Well, what can I say? So far, it's been a very powerful game by Christopher, but Prague was a bit unrecognizable in the opening part, at least.
Yeah, but also, nowadays, maybe not only nowadays, if you don't get good position, not easy to play. Yeah, he played really an opening in a very strange way.
Right.
Still, with a second sticking.
Did he just made a move with the last second on the clock? It
Yeah.
seems to be 5 seconds on the clock, so that's plus 5 seconds per move.
Queen d4, yeah.
Queen d4. Yeah, this was missed by Prague, and that's it. Yeah, knight b3 is coming in, and yeah, Christopher is going to win this game.
Yeah, game over.
So this pawn is not going anywhere. King f7. So Prague's unbelievable streak of winning 9 out of 9 is finally being stopped. I don't see Prague ever saving this. I think there's going to be resignation either now or a moment later. So that's it. Well played.
Good game. Good game.
Good game.
And I wonder what Vincent did, if he came closer.
I can try to have a look at his game. Yeah, Winston indeed won his game against Pavel Tetzlav for the black color. Maybe we should try to have a peek on the still ongoing games and from the looks. I'm sorry?
Sure.
Yeah, and from the looks, I'm looking at positions. Balaji Dagubati has a winning position against Olivia Kalbasa, but maybe we can switch to Vaishali's game against Volodar Murzin.
Yeah, also looks like it's lost, yeah?
But for who?
Not a good round
White.
for the family.
Yeah, for White, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, Vaishali is a sister of Prague. So,
yeah, indeed.
It's Prague sister, so something for both of them. It was a good tournament. She played really impressive before in some games, but this game, I think, okay, not that clear yet. Yeah, not that clear yet.
Yeah, maybe White can somehow use the knight and the rook and the pawn to.
Or maybe it's one of the ideas. Another idea is just to give up a knight for 2 pawns.
Yeah.
And then all of us will follow rook against rook and the bishop. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the participants will have to wait and will be unhappy.
So, of course, I think Murzin is going to try to avoid it because he knows that rook and bishop versus rook theoretically is a drawn position. Of course, he can play it forever, but
I think with this time control, it's won.
You think?
I think with this time control, I had some experience at some training games with very strong players. Very difficult to hold this because with 5 seconds, okay, it's easy to get confused. Recently, I played this Lev Tolstoy Memorial in Russia, also in one of the games. I think Dmitry Andreikin lost drawn endgame. Okay, with the second sticking, it's very difficult to show necessary accuracy.
Yeah, now White is sort of getting closer because the pawn on b6 seemingly is about to get lost somehow. Very tricky. Bishop d4, maybe? No? Okay.
Maybe knight b6. Oh, knight c5. Now it's a draw. Now it's simply a draw.
So Murzin missed it. What did he play? King g4. That was a horrible move. What did you suggest? Which move?
But maybe already he put himself in a position where it's not so easy. Because the bishop goes, maybe bishop goes, but knight b6, rook b6, yeah?
Knight b6, rook b6.
Check and king c4, bishop b2.
Yeah, and that is winning. That is winning.
But probably it was even more winning because here I think he had to show quite an accuracy. Before, okay, probably almost every move was winning.
Yeah, on king g4, I'm not sure what he blundered there. That the bishop on c5 is under attack, and now this is just a draw. So Vaishali escaped the draw.
Yeah, good defense by him.
Yeah, indeed. I guess we can very quickly have a look at Winston's game. I think we
Let's
still
do it.
we still have some time. Let me try to find it. Whatever happened here. Oh, Vincent had something extra. So they had this position, and the material is about equal, but black is extremely active.
I like black's position.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that was a blunder, was it?
Simply a blunder a piece, yeah.
Yeah, he blundered a piece. He miscalculated that after rook a4, knight x and c1, bishop a6, he missed intermezzo check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rook takes.
But maybe he had to take on d3 somewhere, but still black's position is preferable, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm looking currently at the results. So maybe from the leaderboards, we have to point out that Pragananda, he lost as we were witnessing the game against Christopher Yu. So Prague still leads the tournament, I believe, but now it's only 9 out of 10. Also, Avonder Liang won his game against Zhu Jinner. And in the overall rankings, Vincent Kiemer with this victory now is 1 point behind Pragananda. And if my calculations is correct, I think they were about to play against each other. Just a second, let me double check.
But also he has an extra game.
Yeah, and he has an extra game indeed. So I think indeed, yeah, they're gonna play against each other. So currently Prague leads 9 points out of 10, Vincent Kiemer 8 points out of 9, Christopher Yu is 7 points, and fourth and fifth place is Aditya Mittal and Avonder Liang. All right. I believe we still have a little time. So maybe, Boris, you could pick a game from the previous round, from the round 10 you would like to have a look at, because I mean there's so many interesting games, so many interesting pairings.
From round 10, yeah?
From the round 10, somebody maybe you are very fond of that you didn't get the chance to see the game.
I don't know. Let's have a look at game Aditya Mittal and against Abi Mishra, two were maybe the youngest players in the tournament, yeah?
All right, let's do it. Let me find it first. Just a second. Oh, cannot find them. There it is. All right. So Aditya Mittal won with the white color against Abhimanyu Mishra, and many of you, of course, you know that Mishra now is already quite officially the youngest grandmaster in the world. Some months ago, he made news that he broke Sergei Karyakin's world record, and now he is officially the youngest grandmaster at 12 years. And I'm sorry, I forgot how many months, but it was a few months earlier. Boris, what do you think? What is the limit of how far can those youngsters push? I mean, 12 years already seems to be incredible to become a grandmaster. I mean, what's the limit of being the youngest age?
No, I think, okay, also, objectively, there are 2 points I want to make. First of all, is that Abi Mishra, it's really big talent. Yeah, it's really, he's playing well, and he is really strong and has potential. But also, you know, norms are different than before, yeah? I remember time when, you know, when I made my GM norm, when I got the title, I was 25th player in the world in rating, more or less. So you could see the difference, yeah? And so I will not, okay, of course, it's good from a point of view, give him extra possibilities, yeah, you know, to get sponsorship and support on states and to advance further in his career. But Most important is the level of play. Yeah, he shows amazing level of play, like most of the participants in this tournament, and other youngsters who don't play here. And of course, it's possible to get to become strong young. But if we look, let's say, in top 30, or maybe even in top 40, I don't think anyone but Alireza Ferrucci is younger than 20. So only one player in top. I think Jeffrey Shond is already 20. And the next one, I think, is Andrei Yesipenko, who is 27 something.
Yesipenko is not 27. I mean, the ranking.
Yeah, the ranking. I mean, there are only 2 players younger than 20 in top, rated 27 plus, 2700 plus.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's possible to get strong in a young age, but to go to real top, one needs time and devotion and hard work. It's not like they're going to say, of course, all these guys who play here have incredible potential. I mean, in this too. But still, I don't think it's realistic to expect them in top 10, let's say, in 2 or 3 years. I think big part of them will be, but it will take time.
Well, maybe Alireza.
Alireza is, but he's not in this already.
Yeah, he is not here.
And he's not part of this tour.
Yeah, indeed.
Alireza is already...
He's already qualified.
But still, okay, he just got there. We'll see if he'll stay stable there. Yeah, he has amazing potential, of course. Yeah.
Right. So if you go back to this game, I don't know, to be honest, this line 94, I assume this is a known idea. So what do you think? Is this a pawn sacrifice? It seems to be. So why does quite happy to sacrifice the pawn on A2 to win some time?
I think so. Queen C2, and then I think white are simply, it's very good game from point of view, that white are developing pieces, yeah?
Yeah,
and they're really developing pieces, and I think if he'll be given time to recapture a pawn on E4, he'll be simply better. So maybe black has no extra move to castle. Yeah, if black will be able to castle, it seems that he'll be doing fine. But I don't think he'll be now. Queen is hanging.
Yeah.
If he'll take, let's say, maybe this bishop on C3 and queen C2 and knight on A4 will be on the side. So not so simple, yeah?
Yeah, not so simple indeed. So he decided to grab the second pawn. He probably knew what he is doing, that this is dangerous, but he was hoping to survive. Now the queen is also completely disconnected from the action for rapid.
It's a good move to prevent queen H5 and
yeah. Maybe for a rapid game, it's a very risky approach, but I mean, I don't know.
No, I would rather think it's a risky for black.
Yeah, I mean, for black, indeed.
Yeah, for black, yeah. Because
for rapid game
on the center, I think white will always have chance, to make at least E4, amazing, yeah?
Wow, again, excluding the queen from the game and the pawn on F3 is completely irrelevant. So finally, Mishra found a way to sort of join the queen in the game, but now white's attack is very powerful. Yeah, all of the pieces.
But also, he kind of his queen on F5 is very solid, king is safe. Maybe he's okay if he can play H4 here, no?
Yeah, this is what happened. Not very clear.
Decent position, no.
Yeah, this is a good position. Yeah, this is a good.
Probably equal, yeah.
Yeah. So it would seem.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly he played it. I imagine this must have been blitzed out by Mishra, and he just blundered the rook. And of course, this is game over because you can
even rook D1 maybe the simplest. To give up a pawn, to trade rooks, and to
takes.
The endgame is totally drawn.
Totally draw. Yeah, these pawns are held by this pawn on G7. Black even has pass pawns, so it seems that
the simplest maybe bishop A2, bishop D5 to blocks, and A5. to advance our pawn. I don't think it's a chance he will ever lose.
Wow, it's just incredible, but a heartbreaker for Abhimanyu, but stuff like this happens. And actually yesterday we also were witnesses, and I think maybe even the first day, that some mouse slips happen. And this is the part of the online chess, is that it happens. It's part of the sport.
Happened with me, yeah.
With you as well. All right, right. It's your game in the World Cup qualifier, was it, against Julius Baer?
Peček from Slovakia.
Yeah, I remember.
He just offered the draw. He was very generous. Yeah, he beat me anyway in tiebreak in Armageddon. Yeah, but was very generous and gentlemanship from him. Yeah.
To be honest, I think we need more examples like that in professional chess. I mean, of course, the stakes are the highest, but still, I mean, understanding that this was not supposed to be and do what he did, the greatest respect, at least from me.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely. But also, you know, I want to say a few things that time and again we see and read that people are, you know, saying that online chess should not exist because of it and things like this. But if we think a bit and we compare two options, that we have no tournaments existing on online, or some difficulties like this, we shall take the lesser evil. Yeah, it's a choice here. You can enjoy a lot of games. Sometimes some mouse slips happen, you know, it happens, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we just have to accept that. And actually the 11th round has already started. So very quickly, I'll maybe mention the most important game of round 11. It's definitely Winston Kiemer against Pragananda. Two leaders are fighting it out between each other. The game has already started. A couple of moves have been played out. Maybe from other very interesting matchups. I think if we are going to have time, definitely, I think we want to have a peek on what is happening. Christopher Yu's game, he's playing against Leigh Garifulina, and maybe also have a peek on some of the other players which we still haven't had a chance to have a look at, because there's so many exciting players, so many exciting games here that unfortunately we have to choose.
Absolutely, absolutely. So really, I want just to say one little thing, that it's really amazing generation, yeah?
Yeah,
incredible. I don't think it was maybe, you know, as we spoke before, people get strong at younger age, but the whole generation of players is really strong, and I think the whole tour could not accommodate all the big talents which are on the circuit.
Yeah, indeed. So let's go to the opening phase of Kiemer against Pragananda. Very quickly, let's have a look at this. So it's Queen's Gambit accepted. I think, Boris, you'll have to probably explain the subtleties of this line here, because I'm not a d4 player and I know you are a big expert of the d4 line. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, it's Queen's Gambit accepted. And this a4 is a possible move. I tried other moves. d5 is a very interesting move. I won a beautiful game in Blitz World Championship against Ernesto in Kiev. This idea, knight a5. b3 I played. No, I played b3, d5, bishop d3. And I think he took his e-pawn. And I played e4, d4, e5.
Oh, wow.
I think, okay, it's Blitz World Championship. But okay, but also, okay, I was not the first one to use it. And there were some games, but also a4 is a solid move. And I think Prague had it already in this Meltwater Tour when he qualified winning first event, Polgar's event. He went there and he played against Le Quang Lien, and he lost. And we analyzed this game in our session. So I hope he was prepared. Le Quang Lien played Queen C2 here. No, Bishop E7, Prague played in both cases. E7, no.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bishop E7.
And Le Quang Lien played Queen C2. and then Prague didn't react well and was lost, and we analyzed it in our session.
Right.
So I'm sure he was prepared. And Vincent took on c5, which is really playable continuation. White stare into an endgame. The good question is, White could do it with a pawn on a2, and very often, why is that what White played? Instead of a4, and take on 5 immediately, and plays this queen d1, rook d. Oh, okay, here most hesitate, and plays this NP.
Yeah.
Slightly better for White, but okay. Also, you know, it's not that dramatic for Black. But Vincent, I don't know if he was in preparation to take with a pawn on a4 and play b3, or he just plays it. I think his technique is very good. His trainer is Petr Leko, and I have to say that Vincent's plays very much resembles the style of his trainer. He's always well prepared, amazing technique, very good positional feeling. So probably they prepared. I will not be surprised.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to ask the logical question, of course, which I don't think it's so easy to answer. Is inclusion of a4 actually good?
It's a good question. I think instinctively, I think it's not good. But probably there are some finesses where this can be useful. And probably, if you analyze, especially with an engine, it can underline in which line it can be useful. So if you ask your instincts, I would rather put pawn back and not weaken the b4 square.
Right.
Also,
So
knight d2 and b3 is strange, yeah, because he could play knight d2 previous move. I don't know if b3. I thought his idea is a bishop a3 or bishop b2, but maybe again there are some finesses, yeah. But actually, I don't find it's very logical to play b3 and then knight d2, because I can explain it in general thing that with the pawn on, let's say, on a2 and b2, one of the ideas White may have, let's say dc, queen d1, rook d1, bishop c5. One of the plans White may have is to play, let's say, somewhere, let's say knight d2 or knight g5, doesn't matter. Let's say play castles, knight e4, take, and somewhere, okay, now knight bishop e7. Okay, somewhere maybe bishop d2, bishop c3, knight d6 to get two bishops, yeah?
yeah.
And but with a pawn on a4 and b3, even if this two bishop advantage will not be that useful because of the weaknesses, you know, b3 pawn will be weak. So I think here, position is pretty much balanced.
Yeah, and so far Prague has made all the normal looking moves. The bishop still is on c5, rook d8, bishop d7. So I guess we are going to see if Vincent indeed has prepared something, or he just improvised over the board.
Yeah, he plays pretty quickly, but also hard to see what can be really wrong for Black. Knight a5 is maybe a threat.
Yeah, knight a5, training the bishop here. But can I not play knight d6? After knight d6, you're going to play knight a5 anyway, right? Protecting the pawn on b7.
Likely. It's a possible option. Also, maybe you can simply play like rook b8, but knight a5 is the most natural.
Yeah.
But knight a5, bishop c3, maybe they have to calculate.
Oh, knight x on c4 and knight x on b7?
Knight x on b7. They have to calculate how good is it. It's far from clear for me that it's good. I mean, maybe after bishop c3, Black can play some solid move like bishop c6.
Oh, wow. That's a nice intermezzo move. I get more calculation necessary.
Yes.
So
Yes, knight f7, I want to take on d1 and on c4,
yeah,
and they left with extra piece. And the bishop a5, I think rook d6, and this big simplification, yeah, likely.
yeah, black is happy, I think.
Yes.
So
But also,
now,
if white doesn't play knight d6, what can he play? Because knight a5 is maybe a threat. And also maybe if it will be black's move, he can simply play bishop e8. And it's
Yeah,
hard to say what can go wrong for black here.
right.
Sorry?
So I was thinking, can I play something like bishop c3 to sort of fight for the b4 and a5 squares? And now after bishop e8, I don't know, fight for
Looks
space.
like a very dry position, yeah.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
you can
this.
play g4, but also if I'll, let's say, trade all rooks.
Yeah, it's not enough, I think.
Not enough, yeah. Also, my idea will be to play maybe somewhere bishop b4 and with an a to trade dark square bishops. Then b3, weakness on b3 can tell one day, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, now Vincent is thinking about all of this because not sure what he has with that, but he plays 96. So 96 is on the board. So I'm really curious. Are we going to see this a little spectacular idea of knight a5? That makes a lot of sense because I think bishop d6, this is something that Prague is not feeling very enthusiastic to go for this line, because now this is something that white can play pretty much forever, I think.
Yes, but also I want to make a point that if pawns will be after this rook date, if white pawns will be on a2 and b2, I will like it more for white, because here these pawns, I believe, still there are other targets, and let's say maybe knight e7, knight d5. This I don't like these pawns, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't think Prague will be happy to take a knight. Even if he'll take, it's nothing dramatic, but I think with his bright tactical vision, he may find this knight a5, bishop c6, if it works. Oh, he took, yeah?
Yeah, he took on d6. Okay, he decided to play it safe.
Yeah.
All right. So, bishop takes on d6, rook takes on d6, bishop e8. This is on the board. And I don't think Vincent has any choice here. He has to take on d8, right? Because rook d1, now this is too much.
Rook d1 take and knight a5.
And the bishop trade or knight b3. Maybe I can try to sacrifice it, but I don't believe there's anything.
No. Black has no weaknesses.
Yeah, no weaknesses. Yeah.
So maybe bishop c3 here is must.
Yeah. This is actually what we are analyzing here, and now, now is black to move.
But maybe knight e7. What else? Yeah, king f8. Okay. After f3, what he'll do? Maybe knight e7 anyway.
F3, but now knight e7. There's some issues with bishop.
There is bishop b4. Yeah. Still, maybe we can play bishop c6, king a8 slowly to bring the king slowly, but I don't like it.
I don't like king f8 as well. Yeah. Now e5. The problem for black, he can play king e7. The pawn on g7 is under attack. So if you play f6, the pawn on e6 is under attack. If you play e5, this bishop is alive.
No, but maybe e5, f6, bishop f7 will be a good idea. But the question is if he'll be in time to execute it.
Right. We can check it. So let's say e5. What should the white try to play? Probably activate the king.
Maybe, but maybe you have to be more, do something more urgent, because if you activate a king, I will play f6, and how you will defend against bishop f7? Maybe e5, b4 he can play already.
Yeah, this is what I was looking at. Yeah.
b4, b5 maybe he can play, and then f6, b5.
Oh, this looks a bit dangerous for black now.
It looks already dangerous. Also, bishop f7. it's never an idea. We can always go bishop e2 when necessary. So we have classical. No, I think black has to include the capture on b5.
Yeah, definitely. But I think even with the inclusion of the trade bishop f7, very dangerous.
Bishop e2, I think pretty unpleasant. Classical to bishop advantage. Maybe next move, white can even play e4, to cut the knight.
Yeah. So now after king f1, something else happened here. Prague played rook c8, trying to do what? I guess activating the rook because the d file is
maybe
not.
He wants. I know. Maybe he wants to play something like king e7 and the bishop g7, knight a5. To be smart, to give up that pawn, but to regain another pawn.
Might be, yeah. I think that's probably something that he is right now thinking about. Still, I think this position now it's turning to be a slight success for Vincent because I think Black had more direct ways to equalize the game after the opening, and now Vincent is sort of pressing. I mean, I don't know. That's my impression here. Maybe I'm wrong.
I completely agree with you.
I'm sorry?
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. So f4, I think Kiemer's idea is to play something like g4, g5, establish this pawn on g7.
And also he prevented, say, e5 idea forever,
Yeah, that's a great move, by the way. Yeah, for indeed. Yeah, stopping e5.
Yes, very classical move,
Yeah. So if white is allowed, he wants to play g4, g5, maybe, I'm not sure about h4, but fix this weakness on g7. And now black has some real issues to deal with this very powerful Doxford bishop on c3.
No, actually, if we'll return back, I think it was a very clever opening choice by Vincent. Because maybe at the beginning, his advantage looked marginal. But this is that with each inaccuracy, the defending task becomes bigger and bigger. So especially in this time control, it's very important to get position which is easier to play for him than for his opponent.
Right.
But maybe here, maybe Prague can play knight e7.
Anyway,
and the bishop before bishop c6, and then king a8, and then knight will jump somewhere after f4. After f4, I mean f4 kind of he didn't do it, but probably it had sense.
Yeah. Maybe even also offer a bishop trade at some point, something like bishop d5, because these
bishops. If we'll trade bishops, it will be much easier for us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But he played h5.
h5, yeah, so let me go to the current position. f4, h5 is played. Of course, he recognized the idea that white wants to play g4, g5, but now the question is, what do you play next? Because g6, there might be some
maybe still the same, 97 and bishop c6.
97 and bishop c6. No.
King e7, what is he doing? He wants the same idea, bishop g7.
He wants to execute your idea you mentioned before. Yeah, takes a knight f5.
But 97 I like more. And h5 actually fits well in this concept because knight will maybe have the point square on f5. I mean knight e7 is this concept.
Yeah, meaning instead of, after 97, knight f5, the knight on f5 is guarded by the pawn on h5. Right. Okay, so king e7 is played. Now the question for Vincent, what he should do, because I think bishop takes on g7 is not really mandatory, because now black cannot play knight e7 and knight e5 anymore. Maybe g3, h3, g4, or is it too slow, Boris? What do you think? What should I do here?
Good question, because also black has a clear idea. Maybe if he will not grab a pawn, Prague wants to play f6, maybe then even bishop g6 to move it to e4. I think it's, but g3, it's logical, but also it's kind of concession, because let's say g3, h3, it trades one pawn. Also maybe black will be quicker to grab the H line.
Oh wait, I can play h3.
E4.
I just noticed I can play h3. There is no threat h4. There's bishop e1.
Oh yeah, H3, F6. It's possible. G4, maybe take, bishop G6. It was logical, but he played bishop D3.
All right.
I don't know what's the point. If F6, what does he want?
Bishop D3. I guess he's threatening to take on G7 already.
Yeah, but if F6, how he will
F6.
But now maybe E5 is not a threat because bishop F5 somewhere. So maybe now he can prepare H3, yeah?
Yeah, H3, but okay, that's an interesting order of the moves. So there's no tactics with knight e5 because there's always going to be some bishop b4 checks.
Yeah. And A5 and bishop in knight b4, it's quite a concession. Yeah, maybe it can be played, but very dangerous also.
This is no longer an obvious equal possession. I think white is definitely pressing here.
White is pressing. Yeah, I think Sir Prague made a few inaccurate moves in a row, and now he is.
Yeah. All right. So after f6, let's try to predict the game. H3, probably h4 is not so good because after bishop e1, I don't think black is in time to organize any counterplay at a queen side. So what do we play? Bishop f7. Now the pawn on b3 might be under attack though. Let's say takes, and something like e5. Is it so bad actually?
He played b4, which is quite logical as well. He wants to play b5. Yeah.
So that was his idea. So he played bishop d3 so that the bishop on c4 is not under attack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, Vincent's, his technique, his way he arranges pieces is really incredible for his age. Yeah.
Okay, but now I have a question. Can I play knight e5 and sacrifice a pawn, or it's too much? It's
yeah, maybe, but bishop e5, take. Its pawn is a pawn. I think it's played, no?
He already played it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just looking at this, and maybe he indeed decided that's the practical
I'm
choice.
afraid, what I'm afraid of is that maybe we are not in time, because if we'll get bishop endgame, it likely will be lost because of the weakness on b7. But how to get there? Because king d2, there is rook b3, yeah? You regain a pawn, yeah?
Yeah, rook b3. Now black is very active because indeed, if you remove the rooks, white plays a5. In the wildest dreams, even includes h4, and with so many weaknesses. Okay, the extra pawn is nice, but those weaknesses could doom black.
Oh, wow. Maybe he can play a5 now. But a5 now, maybe bishop b5, yeah?
And we have a very thematic rook endgame, right? Takes.
Yeah.
a6. Do I play a6?
Yeah, likely. Take rook b3, yeah, and it's a draw, yeah? Play
yeah. Okay.
Now, I want to mention that after a5, I thought that rook b3 may work. There's an idea rook b1, rook d3, but it doesn't work. But I want to mention bishop g6, e4.
Yeah. All right. So rook b3, rook b1. Now this is a very dangerous endgame for black.
But maybe maybe not a6. Yeah. Maybe after bishop b5 takes. Maybe instead of a6, rook d1 can be strong.
Rook b1 or d1.
I want to get it active to d6, or maybe to protect from d4. But also, if rook b3, I will maybe consider to play rook d6. Rook b6, yeah, and then rook a6 and.
Yeah, it's not easy. And actually, in the game, what happened here that Prague played bishop c6. Now, just a general good-looking move, and now g3. And this is the, I believe, current position. Still, black is very active here.
Yeah, maybe he is okay. Maybe he's okay. Maybe g5, yeah?
Yeah, g5, h4.
h4, my idea was to take and maybe rook a1 and try to get closer to h4 pawn, if I'll manage.
Yeah, indeed.
He can play rook a1 now, but g5 somehow I feel okay to advance pawns, because if we'll put our pawn to h4, okay, we get an ideal defensive setup. And if he'll play h4, I want to take and rook a1. And then if I'll be in time to play rook h1, it have to be okay, yeah?
Yeah, but although here there's rook g1 problem, probably I can do it right away.
Yeah, so rook a1 he played, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, rook a1.
King d2.
King d2. So the king is going somewhere. Yeah.
Maybe it was clever for him to go back to a3, yeah? I don't know, he played g5. But again, they're both left with half a minute to think, so probably we'll see quite a few mistakes here, but let's see.
But actually, this is still not very clear, because h4 takes, h3, bishop g2, rook h1, rook h2 might be.
Yeah, okay, not so easy for, because it's extra pawn is nice, but also whenever he'll play king d4, rook d1 will fall, yeah?
Right, so both players are down to the last half a minute. For Prague, it's only 19 seconds. For Vincent, it's 25 seconds. Bishop
d1. Probably that's what Prague missed, yeah, because his rook is kind of trapped, yeah?
Yeah. Answering a question in the chat, the increment for the game is 5 seconds. The players are playing a rapid game of 10 minutes plus 5 seconds. 5 seconds per every single main move. All right. King d4, king d7. I don't see black losing this, but of course everything can happen.
Yeah, I think it's more chances for black to hold it rather than to lose, but with this seconds ticking, anything can happen, yeah?
I was looking actually at e4 at some point to exclude the bishop on c6 out of the game, and after going after the pawn on h4. So Vincent is still pressing here. So it's quite interesting, you know. Actually, sometimes when I'm coaching my students, I'm mentioning that sometimes the one of the qualities of the extra pawns, it's not only that you're moving into queens, it's taking away many valuable squares. So the pawns on e5 and e4, they're double pawns, but they're taking away many squares.
Yeah. And squeezing also the pieces, yeah. Bishop on c6 is nowhere.
Right.
King is cut. Rook b2.
Rook b2, bishop c6. Bishop c6 and
rook a3 he played. Maybe also.
Rook a3. The bar didn't like it. Rook a2, he missed it.
Oh, he missed it. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I think that was a blunder. That was a positional blunder.
Yeah. Now it's a game is over, yeah.
And he couldn't play rook b3. I mean, have to go back to this position. Rook b3, very unfortunate is bishop c2. He cannot even go for the rook endgame.
Yeah, it's totally.
And now Kimmer is just winning, just like that. One mistake.
Absolutely. Very unfortunate start of the day for Prague. Yeah?
That would mean he is not only losing the second game, but also he is going to lose the lead in the overall rankings, because although he and Vincent, they're going to have 9 points out of 9, but Vincent has played one game less.
Yeah.
King e3. Now this is indeed a technical winning position. King d4, king c5, king d6.
But also it was very difficult because he was defending the whole game, and I mean he had to make maybe more accurate moves than White. Yeah, White could have try here and there. Yeah, so I think very clever opening choice from Vincent. I mean, not only opening, but the attitude to the game. You go for this, maybe one of the decisive games of the tournament. You go for really small advantage, but you sure you'll each inaccuracy you'll have chances to exploit them.
Right, indeed. Yeah. So again, congratulations to Kimmer for winning the game. So that means he has caught up with Pragan and Da in the overall rankings and is actually leading the tournament because of less played games. Boris, maybe we should switch to another game while they're still playing it.
Absolutely.
Any preferences? Maybe I'm looking at the game of okay, the game is finished. Wanted to say Avonder Liang's game, but he just
he finished my compatriot, yeah.
Right. Maybe I see a very tricky endgame of Leon Lun Mendonca against Aditya Mittal, and this is extra pawn for White after a long struggle. And the question is, how easy is this to win?
I think it's much closer to a draw than to a win. First of all, okay, no weaknesses, very few pawns, and also we shall not forget that black has always possibility, you know, maybe to go to an endgame of 2 knights against the king, yeah?
Yeah.
So now basically they have to give up 2 pawns, knight and bishop, for 3 pawns, which I do believe have to be really doable.
Right.
I believe it's pretty drawish.
Looks pretty drawish. The other game I'm having a look at, it's
One more game, yeah, 2 games are still playing.
Yeah, 2 games only. So other game currently is ongoing. Volodar Morzin, he has a game against Joe Jenner.
Oh, interesting. Let's have a look.
Okay, let's have a look at that game. Right, here we go. So this looks an extra pawn for black. I don't know, is it winning for black? Very, very difficult to tell, right?
Interesting position.
Mm-hmm. B6. So of course
B6 I don't like. If bishop c6
bishop a6.
h2.
H2, yeah.
I think bishop c6, king f2, yes. So maybe bishop c6 I like. King f2, Volodar will play. King f point, bishop f3, yeah.
And bishop f3. Somehow he's holding this. Yeah. Very tricky. So currently this is the position. Black played king d6, king f2. And king c6 is bishop b5, right? Nice trick.
Nice trick.
So
probably due to this trick he is holding, yeah? Because now very difficult for black to advance. d4, king g3, and then if d3 will take on d3, and how to advance at all. Maybe our next move will be, okay, we can play maybe b7, have to be enough, no?
Here, b7, and the bishop goes where?
Bishop
I mean, just take it. Oh, just take it. Yeah.
I want to take. I wonder if it's drawn or not. Likely so. Bishop,
Yeah.
I don't know, g6 or somewhere.
So the king is going here usually, right?
King
On
is
c5.
round to e5, and it's a draw.
Yeah, that's a draw.
I think pawn is not that advanced yet, yeah, to create us a trouble.
Yeah.
Bishop e8. I would run with a king to e5, but maybe f2 is also good enough.
I think this is what in Dvoretsky's endgame manual is recommended. I seem to recall one similar position. Was it maybe 100 endgames? You should know. I don't remember, but definitely this maneuver, the position the king on c5.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the opponent's center, I think it's less chances because bishop can protect from both sides.
Yeah.
I remember once I won a very beautiful endgame with Peter Leko, but I think I had a pawn, so it was more difficult for him to catch, even though he could save a game with a precise play.
Yeah, and of course, white is never going to trade the bishop. So if black is going to play something like,
no, I think it's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw definitely. Yeah. So this pawn is not going to go anywhere. As soon as it goes, white gives up the bishop, and that becomes a draw. So maybe we should go back to that previous game we're having a look at, because there's still some action here. I don't think we are going to see anything here. I'm talking about Mendonca against Mittal. Is it okay? I hope it's okay.
Sorry.
No, it's not okay.
What?
No, I wanted to switch to another game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I think there's not much to see. They're gonna shuffle the pieces. There's still some chances. So if I trade the knight for the bishop somehow, I don't know how should I do it. But let's say I do it. Do I have any chances? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, even if I do it.
But I don't think you'll be able. Also, knight is excellently placed on e7, protecting g6 pawn, and it's very difficult to attack it,
Yeah.
Okay, bishop b8 is a strange move. I would rather go to a3, not to allow king to.
But still, black needs to be a bit careful not to blunder this bishop on b8, because those knights are very tricky.
Sure, with the time control given, anything can happen.
King c6. I'm not sure where the king is going, on d7 or b7.
Just making moves, to confuse an opponent.
Right.
Knight h4, maybe, no?
Knight h4 with the idea
to protect. The
pawn on g6 is under. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, the pawn on g6 is under attack.
And knight d7, we have bishop a7. Yeah, we can hold.
Whoa, bishop d6.
I think something's going in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I slightly don't follow those. So bishop d6. Why not knight g6 again?
Maybe king f7 he wants.
King f7. Oh, that's a nice trap, trapping the knights. Yeah, I didn't see that as well. Okay, so king d7, and this is the position. I'm looking at this position and I'm thinking maybe there is some chance, some scenario where actually white delivers a mate with two knights. I don't know, how do you do it?
A couple of weeks ago, I got for the first time in my life an endgame of two knights against a pawn.
Oh.
I never had it in my life, and a few weeks ago I had it against Nikita Vitukov with the defending side. And it was my pawn was well advanced to be sure it's a draw, and I managed to make it after 100 or some moves.
All right. I never had it myself, so I keep waiting for that moment when it's gonna happen. Okay, here we go. Knight h4. Finally, white decide. Okay, now it's the time to trade.
No, now it's a tricky, because if now he'll, let's say, take here. Oh, it's a blunder. Knight f5.
What? Oh, he thought bishop takes on g5. That.
But knight g5, and then I think it's lost. Oh, he went there.
We just talked about two knights versus pawn, and there's a good chance we're going to see it.
But now, I think with this pawn, it's rather lost. Maybe not. Maybe he'll still.
Here we go. So Boris, what do you know about this position? What should white do here? Because I don't remember anything, to be honest. Of course, the idea is to push the black king to the corner. Is there some kind of a technique, known way?
I applied, what I knew, and what that managed allowed me to save a game is to keep a king closer to a pawn, black's king, because I think if king will be somewhere on b3, we'll put it in the corner, and then knight will stalemate king with one knight, and as the pawn is quite far on g6, we'll be well in time to bring another knight. But my technique was to stick with but he managed to kick him out of there. I think he's winning. Leon is winning, I think.
The bar is saying that white is winning. Yeah, it feels that there should be some kind of a mate, because this pawn on g6 is taking away a very important square for the black king to escape.
Yeah, also, yeah. Okay, knight g4.
Knight g4, king d7. That looks like a mate.
No, I don't think it's a mate, but we'll have to reshuffle pieces.
I mean, king e7, knight e6.
You mean 96? Yeah. 96, and then, you put king into the corner, and then you're well in time to bring another knight.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 96 is a clever move, No, with the pawn on g6, I don't think it works. Anyway, he had to run with the king maybe to h5. 96 on support.
Yeah, so
knight
for
f6 and knight f6, king h8, king f8 is mate in 5,
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. That's a mate. So for the dear viewers, I have to mention, those of you who don't know, normally two knights against the bear king, that's a draw. But with the pawn, it's not so simple. It's extremely tricky. So Mendonca wins.
Mate on the board.
Mate on the board. So fantastic game by Mendonca, who managed to outplay his opponent and play a very, very beautiful game. And a mate. So from the results, so the most important result of the round 11 so far was Vincent Kiemer outplaying his direct competitor Pragan Da in a very interesting bishop endgame, rook and bishop versus rook and bishop, a couple of pawns where Pragan Da blundered the rook trade and then was outplayed. From other interesting results, Liang beat Yali Sokolovsky. He's climbing closer to the favorites. Also, from the other results, I would have to see probably the overall rankings. The overall rankings are as follows. So Vincent Kiemer and Pragan Da, they have 9 points each, but Vincent Kiemer has played one game less. Christopher Yu is having 8 points, and Avonder Liang is not so far behind with 7 points. And in the overall rankings, Team Kramnik has lost their slight lead over Team Polgar in the Hou Yifan chess challenge, because at the start of today, it used to be something like, something like 9 points. Now it's 5.5 points, but Boris already mentioned earlier that probably for Team Kramnik, it's, over in order to qualify for the trip to the World Championship in Dubai.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, we are making a break anyway. We are going to make a break anyway. So I'll be me and Boris Gelfand here with us in the broadcast. We'll be seeing you in several minutes. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
We'll be back.
If the rook goes to f7, then there is still
Hours on g4. So after king to f6 and king to f2.
Tenemos el rey ahí en e8 un poco mal, no podemos enrocar corto.
Y también se puede hacer, por ejemplo, alfil g4.
Защиту. Но пока что они этого не делают. Играют ферзь d2, рокировка, и теперь играют c4.
Thank you so much for the lessons.
Gracias por las clases.
Gracias por las clases.
Want to raise your chess to a new level? Challenge Yourself is an exclusive, innovative experience designed for Chess24 Premium members. Train like a champ with a unique set of lessons prepared by the coaches of the challengers. Boris, Gelfand and co will help you improve your chess. Play a champ. Play a grandmaster each day in Banter Blitz. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity from June 10th. Go premium and challenge yourself.
Watch chess tournaments online? Don't just watch. Go to Chess24 and make it an interactive learning experience. You get live commentary in multiple languages, including different streams in English from beginner to expert. It's not just commentary, since there's also an interactive live board. Choose your game and try out your own moves. All moves by the players get near-instant cloud analysis from the latest chess engine, which will also analyze any move made by a premium user. Open the tab Opening Tree. It contains a database of 500 million positions from historical games. Has the current position ever occurred before? What did the best players play? The database tab lets you search full games and load them on the interactive board. There are many more tools for chess learners and experts. Come to Chess24 to watch all the online and over-the-board chess tournaments happening worldwide. Discover a new way to watch chess. Be part of the experience.
Let's take someone with a random account, with a random name that just seems attractive.
Play live online against the world's top chess players while they stream their thoughts live. As a Chess24 Premium member, seize the chance to have your moment of fame. Get a peek inside their lives with question and answer sessions, in-depth teaching, analysis and interviews. The Champions Chess Tour, with countless accompanying events, is happening now. Tune in on Chess24. Super discounts on merchandise. Massive sales on courses from Chessable. Chessable and Chess24 bundles, with new deals appearing every day. Visit chess24.com/deals.
E5, it's E5 Patzers.
A complete repertoire against 1E4 based on 1E5, now available to study with Chessable's unique Move Trainer technology. The backbone is the Marshall Gambit against the Spanish, with 3 Knight F6 against the Italian. Jan Gustafsson has revisited all these lines he has played for 20 years and worked on as a second for Peter Lecko and Magnus Carlsen, amongst others, with the help of the most powerful engines out there, Leela 0 and Stockfish 10. This has led to many new discoveries and a repertoire ready to master on Chessable that can serve the student for a long chess career.
Maybe E4 doesn't exist after all.
E5, it's E5 Patzers.
And we are back with a live action from the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, which is the part of Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour. This is the fourth and final tournament of the circuit. And here with us here today is the legendary Grandmaster Boris Gelfand, and I'm a Latvian Grandmaster, Arturs Neiksans. Boris,
Yes.
do you like what you're seeing so far? Those of you who have joined us just recently, Boris Gelfand not only is a famous Grandmaster, but also a chess coach, and he is one of the coaches for Team Kramnik, and was preparing the players and is still preparing the players in order to play better in this tournament. So what are your overall impressions of today's games?
A lot of interesting games, but unfortunately, I'm not happy with what Prague does today, but okay, it's part of the game, yeah?
Right.
Anyway, as when this tour started, Vladimir Kramnik made a speech to my teammates, and he told them that, okay, it's a wonderful tour, but still the main goal is to learn, yeah? Because I think all these players have to aspire high and see it as an opportunity to learn, to practice. And so each game, I also told it to them, they shall see an opportunity to learn something new, to think about what goes wrong in their game. I mean, not what goes wrong, but what they still have to improve. So it's very valuable event for them anyway.
Absolutely, indeed, and very, very exciting games. And Prague started today's tournament with 9 out of 9, and actually he just suffered second loss in a row. So 2 losses against direct competitors. And now he is having another very important game. So he is playing against currently the youngest chess grandmaster in the world, Abhimanyu.
But what happened? What happened? He has horrible position. What happened? He's pawn down with no compensation.
Oh, I didn't notice, by the way, that the G pawn is gone. I thought that looks rather equalish. Let's check. Let's check what happened there. It must have been psychology, right? Because
probably he lost composure. Yeah, let's have
yeah. So we have.
Oh, I know this. I lost this position to Anish Giri in the same tournament previous weekend.
You lost it with white?
With black. It was
black.
Lev Tolstoy's cup. In his mansion, we played, and I think I played c5. I didn't take a pawn. And then, okay, it was. I didn't lose because of the opening, but okay. I had to play precisely through whole game, yeah? But
right.
Abi took, yeah?
Abi took on g4, knight x on g4, rook g1, he went back, knight f6, bishop f4.
Yeah.
Bishop b7, e4,
okay.
c5, and
d5, just it has to go d5 for good or for bad, yeah?
Right.
Just to go, okay, burn all the bridges. If it works, it works. If you gave up one pawn, they should go for a second one.
Right. So after e takes on d5, this actually looks rather reasonable because, I mean, it should, right? Because now white wants to make a long castle, let's say knight takes.
Long castle.
And that's a deadly pin. You cannot take anything. Of course, black wouldn't do it. Maybe something like.
But also long castle maybe is possible.
You mean right? Oh, wow.
I don't know. They are, we have less responsibilities than the players. Rook
right.
E1.
We are not responsible, right, for the games. We can afford to make such interesting lines.
Yeah, rook E1, bishop E7, D6. I don't know.
And this spin is gonna cause black some serious issues.
Yeah.
So let's say take king. Should I take? Should I play king b1? I don't know really. Okay, let's say I take. And yeah, this looks very interesting, very sharp.
Yeah, but okay, that's the point of this g4. You know, you go all in.
All right. So what's the idea of g4 is the sacrifice the pawn in order to gain some time for development, open the g file so that black has some issues to develop the docks for bishop on f8, and then somehow try to capitalize on that. And here d takes on c5 seems to be a bit out of character.
Yeah, it's not in the spirit of position. You don't play this two moves g4 and dc don't match each other.
All right. And I'm not sure. Did he really miss rook takes on g7, knight
h5?
h5?
Probably that's what he missed.
So
it's
rook
not in the
e5
spirit anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So bishop e5, knight c6.
That's
And
simply horrible position.
yeah, very, very bad. There is no activity, no nothing. So this is what can 2 losses in a row do to you, because it just affects your judgment. It affects the way you play. So I probably many great players, I've said it several times, how a big part chess psychology is in chess. I'll try to quote, I think it was Judith Polgar who said, chess is about 40% of psychology, right? So having lost 2 games, such painful losses in a row against direct competitors, it clearly affected Prague's the way he's playing this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it shouldn't be like this. Yeah, okay, he's already mature player and he has to, you know, be more resilient. All this, but okay, I'm sure this will be a really good lesson to him.
Right.
And he will not repeat it next time.
Can I try to force the matters here? I was looking at something like knight takes on e5, knight takes on e5, and bishop d4, but maybe tactically it doesn't work. Doesn't work because I had the silly idea of knight f7, king f8.
And
so that was
f7. Let me think.
Yeah, this I didn't calculate yet. I don't know what is happening.
No,
here.
maybe we can. It's a beautiful. Maybe we can take on e5, rook b7, and long castle. Double attack.
Long castle. Oh wow! Wow, that's an amazing idea.
Rook a7. They have to be precise and play king b8.
No, you can just take it. There's bishop b8 and then.
Oh, bishop b8. Yeah, even better.
Yeah, there's bishop b8. I won't claim I saw it. I mean,
yeah, I think once I won a really beautiful game against Michael Adams in London Classic. It was rapid. It was called Classic anyway. But a very similar combination, long castle. He was sure he is doing fine, but after this long castle, in fact, he was in trouble.
Right. But this didn't happen, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's working or not, but my idea was that after bishop...
Beautiful, really beautiful.
Yeah. I thought this line, knight e7, I would just collect the pawn for free.
Yeah.
On e5. Anyway, it didn't happen, and instead of this, after bishop e5, I'm sorry, it didn't happen. He played knight h5 instead.
Also seems good. Nothing wrong. Maybe he didn't spot it, but maybe okay, rook will go. He will take on e5, play knight f4.
So where should I
or
go?
Maybe rook g5, take rook e5, knight f4 as well.
Knight e5, if rook e5, supposedly a double attack, I'm playing knight f4, and white is not in time to take the bishop because knight e3 is a fork.
Too many, forks.
Yeah, tricky knights, delivering a lot of fork ideas. So yeah, actually knight h5, maybe actually it's a simpler choice because, bishop, knight e5 and bishop d4, you can miscalculate something, but knight h5 is just
keeping... But they have 10 minutes per game. So, okay, they have to be practical.
Yep, indeed. Right. Yeah, let's maybe check another game here. While we are focusing on this game, of course, poor Prague, he is suffering here. Let's maybe switch to Garifulina's game against Vincent Kiemer.
Vincent, okay.
And I see something very surprising here because Garifulina has 2 extra pawns.
2 extra pawns?
Very quickly, I'll check how did that happen. H3 and G3. So Garifulina, I think she already played in the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge exactly the same line of H3, etc.
Oh, I think I played it with black. This line couple of times. Couple of years ago, 5 years ago. It was part of my repertoire, if I remember correctly.
So I assume it's good for black.
It's a holdable for black. I will not.
Holdable, yeah.
Well, I don't think white has any risk, yeah?
Yeah, so it would seem. Oh, that was a nice shot. B4.
B4, it's must, because if black will be in time to play rook b8, probably they'll overtake initiative, yeah?
Yeah, rook b8, bishop b7, those are weaknesses. So white played a beautiful idea that after c takes, rook c6, and now this king is feeling not very good. So that's why Kiemer sacrificed the pawn on c4. He didn't play c takes on b4, and naturally he didn't allow white to play b takes on c5, creating 2 passed pawns. So this is the position, e4. Now the question, I think, is only one. Can Vincent hold this? I don't think he's very happy with the choice because he's fighting for the lead in the overall rankings, and probably knowing his ambition, he was not looking for a suffer right after the opening against Garifulina.
Yeah, but okay, something went wrong probably, yeah? Or he didn't remember something in his preparation, or something went wrong, yeah?
Right. I guess this also means that there are many potential surprises in this tournament. There are no weak players because these are essentially some of the brightest, some of the most talented players in the world, the youngest players. So I would not be surprised that if we are going to see more surprises also in the coming rounds.
Yeah, very good, very strong selection of players.
Right. So e4 was played here. Maybe I'll mention very quickly that, of course, white cannot take the third pawn for free because after rook e8 and f5, now this bishop is lost. So wonderful defensive idea by Kiemer. And now f5 is played. And the question is, does white have enough? I think white is going to enjoy this to find it out. Can I play something like rook d1 and activate?
Yeah, rook b5 will be an unpleasant threat, yeah?
Yeah, rook b5, rook b6 to push away the king. And I think even
I don't know, maybe rook hb8 he can defend. So rook b5 he'll need, but also what to do next then, yeah?
And also these make very easy targets in any endgame. Let's say if white plays at some point h4, and even if it gives up the pawn on d5, very, very pleasant.
Very unpleasant ending,
yeah? But rook b5.
Rook b5, yeah?
Yeah, rook b5 is played right away by Garifulina. And
but
now
if bishop a6, what is your plan?
Check.
King d5.
So you don't think there is a mate?
Maybe b5 is unpleasant.
Oh.
Or maybe rook d1 and f4, yeah. Rook d1 and f4, yeah, it's very close to mate. Yeah, rook d1 f4, yeah. Take bishop, rook d5 mate is on the...
And the bishop is hanging, yeah.
Yeah, everything is hanging.
So it didn't happen. And after rook b5, Kiemer played rook b8. And his position is deteriorating very, very quickly. So Garifulina is playing a powerful game here.
Yes, yes.
So probably white has no time for rook d1 because let's say I play something like bishop a8, trade, and black has some decent chances to hold this because these are very static pawns. But what if I give a check right away? and try to do.
I take rook d1, and here looks horrible.
Yeah, but maybe black just needs one move. It looks horrible, I agree.
Rook d7, bishop a8, yeah?
Yeah.
But also here it looks...
If I
don't think I will not trade rooks. Maybe I will...
maybe keep the rooks alive. Yeah, rook a6. Yeah.
Rook d4. Rook e7 and rook g7.
Take here. Yeah, the king is always...
King is okay. It's... Black has some defensive chances for defense, but... Looks...
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, indeed. It looks rather risky, but it's...
Rook d1, so...
Yeah, that is...
Maybe time to consolidate, yeah?
That was... I didn't expect, really. So
no,
here...
But also, you know, to give up a pawn, you know, for checks, it's not that easy, yeah?
Yeah. And now what happens after bishop a8?
Maybe rook a5, rook b4, rook a6 check, yeah?
Right, of course, you're absolutely right. I mean, why does
But
not
still keep d7, yeah, because rook a7 there is bishop d7.
Take something like a check.
Yeah, king d7.
King e7, because king e5 is made in one. You can do it.
No, d7.
King. I apologize. Yeah, king d7.
Rook g6 is unpleasant, of course.
Yeah, and the h4, bishop h3, rook g7. A lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a reasonable idea after all. So of course, white is not obliged to trade the rook.
Playing the bishop a6 maybe has more sense, yeah.
So yeah.
Rook c5, rook b6 he will play, yeah.
Rook c5 is on the board, by the way, and rook b6 probably.
Bishop b5, maybe bishop d5.
Or bishop b5. Position the bishop on d7. Yeah, I think this is very important.
I think he won a couple of tempers.
Yeah, so it would seem that he managed to consolidate. But then again, for Garifulli, it was a very tough decision because rook after rook b8, rook b6 was by no means an easy decision because this pawn on d5 is very important.
Rook c8 also reasonable move, yeah.
Yeah. The rook c. Oh yeah, sorry. Rook c.
No, I don't think Vincent will lose here.
Yeah, this looks now under control. Maybe we should also use this opportunity to check another leader of the tournament, who is Christopher Woojin Yu, who is playing right now against Balaji Dagobati. And we are going to come back to the leader games, of course. So Christopher here is playing with the black color. He has a solid position.
A solid position. Hard to suggest a plan for both sides. Yeah?
Right. Yeah, because if black doesn't want to do anything, he can simply play bishop f8, and the question is how you are going to crash through. It's very difficult to remove it.
But also, knight on c5 is kind of cut. Knight e4 doesn't work. Because of bishop d4, bishop g5.
Yeah.
Knight e4 takes, rook c4, rook a8. King g7, bishop f8.
Yeah, and this bishop is lost.
Yeah.
And just take it. Yeah, indeed, it doesn't work. So that's why Christopher played bishop g5. Of course, he saw the idea, but he is not threatened with knight e4, and the bishop on c4 probably has to go.
But also now it's not a threat for the same reason. Because at the end of the line, king f6, bishop will be bishop e7.
Right.
But maybe he wants to play something like h5 and then create the to h5 to prepare a square for a king to h7.
Right, and then threaten with knight e4. But probably white wants to improve the bishop anyway on c4 because it's not doing anything. But yeah, this is
bishop
like
a6. Yeah, it's a good Maybe, I don't know if he'll trade or not.
Can I play? Oh, looks very risky, but rook c6.
I can play bishop b5.
Here, now, here. White already can make a draw if he wants, but I think he wants to push it slightly because this.
He can play king a2. He can make useful move, and then still hard to find how white can improve. If, let's say, in case of h5, let's say.
Let's say h5.
But I don't know, somewhere. Maybe somewhere bishop c5 and bishop e8.
Yeah, this I just saw as well.
But rook c3 have to be enough for a draw.
Take here.
Yeah, bishop e6.
Take. Yeah,
Good
sort of drawish, but you never know.
Yeah, it's easy to go wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe h5 is not the most precise move.
That's already very deep.
Yeah, but king e2, but he took on c5 and played bishop e8 immediately. I think king e2 was a very good technical move to wait what to improve position of a king, to wait what black will do, and to the second sticking. Okay, it's easy to go wrong. Now I believe it will be a draw.
Yeah, because. Oh, wait. However, what happens? Let's say if I play rook takes on c3, bishop f7. I can play king h8.
King h8.
Yeah, the pawn on g6 is no longer.
Yeah. It's much safer. Now maybe bishop f4 to cut king, to create bishop c2, rook c2 threat. Oh, this is he will never lose it.
But he played something else. King f8 is played.
But maybe it's a transposition, bishop f7, rook c3 anyway.
Or maybe he wants to trap the bishop.
Oh. And bishop e7 is a threat, yeah?
Wait, he didn't play, by the way.
G8. No, bishop e7, it will be, let's say, king e2, bishop e7, bishop g8.
Okay. So you cannot.
Okay.
Oh, he blundered the rook.
Wow, what a blunder.
Oh my goodness. So Balaji the Gupati blundered the rook. He took on the pawn on e6 and he didn't pay attention that the bishop on e3 delivers a very nasty check and white loses the rook just like that. Very painful loss for Balaji. Oh dear. This happens. Unfortunately, this is maybe giving some more chances for Christopher Wujinyu to fight for the top places, but I think we have to go back again to one of the leaders.
Prague is doing,
yeah, let's see how Prague is doing indeed, and he's playing his game against Abhimanyu Mishra. We left it.
Okay.
Yeah, we left it when he had a terrible position, right after the opening.
Well, now he's not worse and he has more time.
King b6. Is there some mate net? Okay, maybe not. I was thinking about king d4. King d4.
He's creating threats. He will put rook on h7, then wants to play h4, h5. With seconds left, not so easy to defend.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not clear at all.
h4.
h4, and maybe black can try to win the pawn on e5, but how do you do it?
Yeah, but white now has no risk whatsoever.
Yeah, white is not risking here anything. If somebody can win this, it's only Pragananda.
Yeah.
Rook g1 takes.
Maybe rook e1 was clever, but
including first to push the king away and then go rook h1.
h5 or something.
Yeah, h5 for rook h8. I think this is the kind of game that Prague needs right now to recover, because having suffered 2 losses and such a terrible game.
You see that, that luck is in his side, yeah?
Right, but what is a 4? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
Oh. So Mishra decided to sacrifice a second pawn.
Maybe not so easy to make a move for Prague, yeah?
Right. Bishop d1, rook h1, very, very sharp decision to solve.
Rook f1, yeah, maybe.
Rook f1.
Maybe
well, it was
Prague missed it.
Yeah, it was a brilliant choice. I mean, I didn't see this. Wow, let me go back.
Defense. You see that Abi, in his age, you know how tenaciously he is defending. Yeah?
Very, very good defense indeed. So Black sacrificed temporarily the second pawn, and now he has very active pieces, but still the h pawn.
H pawn, but with such a king, I think it's easy to blunder a mate for white, yeah?
Right, yeah, that's why Prague plays rook f8, not to blunder any bishop f3 check ideas.
No, bishop f3, it's possible. But
yeah, that's the wrong corner.
And we'll get to this rook.
Yeah, I got to show this. I got to show this. Takes, and king g6, king g7. That's a wrong corner. So that was missed, but it's. I think it's excusable.
No, but bishop f3, king g5.
And king g5 and allowed to take on h5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is again not very easy.
Yeah.
So bishop e4. By the way, if Black feels uncomfortable, he can even go back to this idea to play bishop f3, bishop h5.
No,
probably at some point. Yeah. Also having a peek at Vincent's game, what he's doing right now, he's still down a pawn, still fighting for a draw against Garifulina. I'm not sure if he's going to make it. Maybe, what do you think, Boris? Maybe we should switch to that game because we might be seeing a big upset.
It's a draw already. Yeah, it looks drawish, yeah.
So here, Garifulina is about to deliver a surprise, a rook 8, and that's it, right?
It looks like that's it. Because, okay, he trades rooks, she trades rooks, and queens a pawn.
Yep, h4, very nice. Not trading the rooks right away, so the bishop a6 is not a possibility.
But okay, she's so much, so many tempers in advance that she can basically take on b8 anytime, yeah?
Winston should resign this already. He knows. He knows he's done.
Yeah, yeah. Time to resign.
Time to resign. Have you watched Queen's Gambit, Boris?
Yes, I did.
So there was this saying, right, by Mr. Scheibel, now you resign.
Yeah. But maybe, it's a good point, because I found out that many young players don't resign, yeah? Maybe it's it's because they play too much, this game which less a minute per game, where, okay, it doesn't matter what position is on board, yeah?
Right.
But I was taught, and I'm teaching, everyone, to show gentlemanship and resign when you're due to do it, yeah?
Yeah. So Kimmer loses, so well played Garifulina, who had a powerful game.
Really impressive game.
That's, I think, the biggest upset today, actually.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, we had some blunders, but to be outplayed like that, that's incredible. I see 2 more games being played on right now. There is Pavel Tetzlav against Luke Mendonca. That looks to be drawish.
Looks drawish.
Yeah, maybe we can have a peek what is happening in a theoretical endgame. Joe Jinner against Olivia Kielbasa of Queen against Rook. I believe at this level, this should be Okay, now the rook is disconnected. I wanted to say black can try to set up a tricky defense, but now this rook should be lost.
Yeah, previous move she could take it by queen d6, but she's mating, yeah.
Already, she's already mating, yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Not so easy, yeah. I saved once against Peter Swidler in FIDE World Championship quarterfinal.
Right.
Not so easy to win when you're down to seconds.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Right.
If you didn't practice it, if it's you didn't get it to automatic level.
But it's also a kind of endgame which you don't get too many often, right? I mean, now I'm thinking, when was the last time I had a queen against rook? I don't know, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I supposedly know how to do it, but if I would have to play on seconds, everything is possible.
Yes.
All right, so we are following now a game of Pavel Tetzlaff against Luke Mendonca, and in the overall rankings, let me check this game is. So Tetzlaff has not had a great day so far. He's sitting at 5.5 points, and Mendonca is 0.5 point more. So for Mendonca, this is a chance to get closer to the leaders, but it looks very difficult. All right. Any plans for black? I guess to play rook g5. If white is not very careful, play something like king f3, play rook g5. But even with the f and h pawn, of course, I mean, the question maybe is different. Let's imagine a scenario where black wins the pawn on f5. How exactly trivial is this draw, Boris?
I don't think it's trivial at all. I think there are a lot of finesses, and especially with this time control, it's good chances to go wrong. But I don't foresee how this pawn will be gone, yeah?
Yeah,
but actually, it's one of the most interesting endgames. There's a lot of finesses. I think in Dvoretsky's manual, it's very well taken care of, yeah?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I seem to remember there are some nuances where the king goes a long way, then it comes back, and there is some kind of a progress. I think I simply skipped those pages.
Yeah, also, it's very important for the defendant side sometimes to put the rook far, let's say on A line, sometimes to check. It's there are finesses, yeah.
Absolutely.
No one can be sure to save it with this time control, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So let's check the results of the round 12 so far. So the biggest upset was the leader of the tournament, Winston Kiemer, suffering unexpected loss against rising Russian star Leia Garifulina. In the meantime, Christopher Yu got an unaccepted gift when his opponent Balaji Dagopati blundered the rook from the position of strength, giving Yu very important point. Also, Pragananda against Abhimanyu Mishra finished in a draw, but I think for Prague, this probably is a slight success because after having 2 losses in a row of today's first 2 games, he got a very terrible position right after the opening, but he managed to escape it and even slightly push it for the win. So let's check also the current standings. So in the lead after 12 rounds is Pragananda with 9.5 points, but Winston Kiemer has lost his lead and he is now in joint second place together with Christopher Yu, who also stands at 9 points, although I'm not really sure if Christopher has had a bye, because...
Yes, both Christopher and Vincent has 1 game more to play.
Okay, so they have 1 more. All right. And also Liang, I wonder, has 8 points and everybody else is falling slightly behind. And also Team Kramnik has slightly managed to increase the overall gap by, 6.5 points. But I think it's already quite official that Team Polgar is going to take down the overall team competition and thus qualify for the team trip to Dubai to see the World Championship match of Magnus Carlsen against Jan Nepomniachtchi in live.
Yes, yes. It's. I think I'm sure it will be a very memorable trip for the winning team. Yeah. Also, I want to mention that Vaishali won 2 games in a row and have now plus score.
Oh, this I didn't mention. Yeah, indeed. So Vaishali has scored a very
good day today. Yeah.
Yeah, very good day so far. So she won Gunay Mamadzada, and now she's climbing up in the overall rankings. And Vaishali right now is shared 6th place together with Aditya Mittal and Pavel Tetzlav. But if you're talking now about the World Championship match, stepping slightly aside, I'm not sure if I can ask this question, Boris, but who do you think? What's going to happen in the World Championship match? I mean, of course, Magnus being the world champion is the favorite, but how do you think? How big are the chances for Jan Nepomniachtchi?
I think no one knows. Yeah,
no one knows except Jan.
They're just speculating. Each match is a story of its own. Very much depends on so many factors which we don't know. How they'll prepare, how the match will start, everything. So I don't think it's so interesting to speculate. Yeah, we shall wait for it and enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sure this time I think it's a longer match. It's 14 games match, if I'm not mistaken.
To my great shame, I tell you, I don't know. It used to be 12 games.
I think it's really 14 games. Mentioned, so really looking forward. Yeah, really have to be big event. Yeah, a really big event.
Right, indeed. So maybe from the current players in this tournament of Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour, who do you think who might be the next world champion? I mean, the one who is probably showing the biggest prospect so far.
No, I think I will not say everyone, but most of the players has a big potential. Yeah, and it depends on so many factors. Yeah, because all this speculation, this guy will be next world champion, has potential, has nothing to do with reality. Yeah, they have potential, but have to overcome so many difficulties and to be show so much mental toughness, determination, chess qualities that it's too early for them to speculate. And I think it will be very damaging for them to speculate, if you'll speculate about it, because it will give a wrong mindset to them. What they have to focus on is to going forward, learning from mistakes, and devoting themselves to chess and thinking about the process rather than thinking about the goal.
Right, absolutely. All right, I believe we have still 3 minutes until the final game of the day is going to start, and
maybe I'll refill a glass of water and I'll be back.
Yeah, maybe you can make a small break, something like a couple of minutes, yes, and be back very shortly. Yeah.
If the rook goes to f7, then there is still
hours on g4. So after king to f6 and king to f2.
Tenemos el rey ahí en e8 un poco mal, no podemos enrocar corto.
Y también se puede hacer, por ejemplo, alфиль g4.
Защиту. Но пока что они этого не делают. Играют ферзь d2, рокировка, и теперь играют c4.
Thank you so much for the lessons.
Gracias por las clases.
Gracias por las clases. It's going to be Jan Nepomniachtchi versus Magnus Carlsen for the World Championship. was a tense semi-final match between Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi.
Want to raise your chess to a new level? Challenge Yourself is an exclusive, innovative experience designed for Chess24 Premium members. Train like a champ with a unique set of lessons prepared by the coaches of the challengers. Boris, Gelfand and co will help you improve your chess. Play a champ. Play a grandmaster each day in Banter Blitz. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity from June 10th. Go premium and challenge yourself.
Watch chess tournaments online? Don't just watch. Go to Chess24 and make it an interactive learning experience. You get live commentary in multiple languages, including different streams in English from beginner to expert. It's not just commentary, since there's also an interactive live board. Choose your game and try out your own moves. All moves by the players get near-instant cloud analysis from the latest chess engine, which will also analyze any move made by a premium user. Open the tab Opening Tree. It contains a database of 500 million positions from historical games. Has the current position ever occurred before? What did the best players play? The database tab lets you search full games and load them on the interactive board. There are many more tools for chess learners and experts. Come to Chess24 to watch all the online and over-the-board chess tournaments happening worldwide. Discover a new way to watch chess. Be part of the experience.
Let's take someone with a random account, with a random name that just seems attractive.
Play live online against the world's top chess players while they stream their thoughts live. As a Chess24 Premium member, seize the chance to have your moment of fame. Get a peek inside their lives with question and answer sessions, in-depth teaching, analysis and interviews. The Champions Chess Tour, with countless accompanying events, is happening now. Tune in on Chess24. Super discounts on merchandise. Massive sales on courses from Chessable. Chessable and Chess24 bundles, with new deals appearing every day. Visit chess24.com/deals.
E5, it's E5 Patzers.
A complete repertoire against 1E4 based on 1E5, now available to study with Chessable's unique Move Trainer technology. The backbone is the Marshall Gambit against the Spanish, with 3 Knight F6 against the Italian. Jan Gustafsson has revisited all these lines he has played for 20 years and worked on as a second for Peter Lecko and Magnus Carlsen, amongst others, with the help of the most powerful engines out there, Leela 0 and Stockfish 10. This has led to many new discoveries and a repertoire ready to master on Chessable that can serve the student for a long chess career.
Maybe E4 doesn't exist after all.
E5, it's E5 Patzers.
And we are back live from the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, which is the 4th tournament of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour. As you can see, together with you is the legendary chess grandmaster Boris Gelfand, and I'm slightly helping him. I'm Latvian grandmaster Arturs Neiksans. So we are trying to make your viewership as enjoyable as possible. And the 13th round already has started. Boris, what you're seeing in this position now, this is something very, very tricky. This early Queen E2 idea.
It's became really popular these days, yeah?
Yeah, it's getting very popular.
I think it's invented by Magnus. I think he played it against
Wojtaszek.
Wojtaszek, yeah. And a lot of spectacular games. I will underline one from the candidate tournament, Grishuk against Maxim Bashkira.
Right.
But generally, I feel that black has quite a big potential, dynamic potential in this position. Maybe simply knight b4, like late NG played. I think d5 is kind of a threat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the current position.
Because rook e1, you know, when you play rook e1, you are just betting for d5, no? Okay, what else? I don't know. Maybe knight f2 was a threat, but rook e1, I don't know. It's so unharmonious. Yeah, probably, I don't know. Something Volodar, but okay, I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, maybe it's okay. I don't know. H3, knight f6, maybe g4, maybe it will be not in time. Yeah.
G4, and now black is no time to play d5 because there's going to be okay. So that's why he takes an f4.
But now I don't know. There is, I believe. Let me think. Maybe some tactical, or simply knight f4. Maybe now rook on e1 is protecting d4. d5 I don't think will work now with this big diagonal. Or maybe rook g1 can be interesting. Or knight f4. Knight f4 is simple and probably okay. Yeah?
And suddenly white's piece placement suddenly makes a lot of sense.
Yes. It's very important because at the beginning, you know, a bit like in Fisher random, yeah? The pieces are placed randomly, but once you will restore a harmony of pieces between your pieces, then things are easier for you.
Absolutely. So yeah, here after knight takes an f4, if
and bishop on b2, I like bishop on b2. It's kind of securing his king against threats. Yeah.
I think that's the entire approach of this weird queen d2, b3. Okay, this bishop h6. I'm not sure if that is really necessary, but white plays normally the idea of bishop b2, long castle. Not sure if f3 or f4. I think Magnus actually played against Wojciech. I think he played e6, and then at some point f3, knight h3, knight g5. But it's difficult for black to go for the typical counterattack at the queen side by pushing a6 and b5, so that's why this bishop on b2 is feeling great.
Yes, but I think bishop h6 is kind of fashionable nowadays, because I think players who play black knows that if they'll develop the pieces just bishop g7, etc., slowly, they know they will be maybe lacking counterplay. So bishop h6, they want to create targets in the center immediately. Yeah, knight f6, yeah, e5.
Yeah, e5. There's the spin. Knight e2 seems to be necessary, or g3. I'm not sure what is better.
But so interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so a5 has to be responded with a4, otherwise black is going to play a4 himself, and the pawn on e4 becomes a target.
But I think it's good from one point of view, it's good for white to play this a4 because, you know, very unlikely that the big counterplay connected with b5 will ever take place.
Right, absolutely. So we have this position now. Black played rook c8 in order to pin the knight on c3, so the pawn on c2 is under attack. But no, indeed, I started like white's position because the question is, I'm already changing my mind very quickly. I wanted to say, can I play something like bishop g2 and dream of a potential to start an assault at the king side? And then I noticed b5. So knight b5 is going to be rook takes on c2, and a takes on b5 is going to be a4. And I don't know what is happening there, but I think black is going to be very excited to find it out. But I think this is why Merzan is keeping the bishop on f1, so that the bishop keeps control of the b5 square and just first goes away from the pin.
I will just put the bishop to b5 on b5 to be sure that, okay, it's excellently placed there, secure, no b5. also takes away e8 square from the rook.
Right. All
Black
right.
has to be very inventive here, yeah, to create counterplay.
Yeah, but also black is very, very dynamic here. Now, bishop g7, black is acknowledging, okay, my bishop on h6 is not doing anything. Time to go back and maybe try to improve the knight from f6, something like knight c5 or knight e5. And a lot of excitement is possibly happening here.
Maybe rook c3 and knight e4. What does?
Oh, wow. Rook c3 and knight e4. That I didn't see.
I'm not sure how good is it, but white have to count this, yeah?
Yeah, no, I would totally play this. This is such a powerful bishop. Although there's some, yes, specific calculation, of course, you need to calculate this. Yeah. Not so simple, of course. All right. I think we definitely are going to return to this game because there's bound to happen some real action, but maybe we could also pay attention to other players because there's so many interesting young and bright players playing in the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, and we just don't want to miss anything happening that maybe there was some players which we didn't pay too much attention so far. So I suggest maybe to follow a game of let's say Olivia Kalbasa. She's playing against Yali Sokolovsky. Yali's games we haven't seen too many games so far.
Let's fill in this gap now, yeah?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Let's fill in this gap now.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at his game.
Let's have a look. Okay, Queen C7.
I'm not sure if Queen C7 is so good. He could already maybe play D5, but I don't know. Maybe he wants some more in this, yeah?
Yeah, by the way, D5 looks very reasonable because now black is absolutely ready to make this push happen. Why he didn't go for this?
I don't know.
Olivia's position looks weird. I mean, I don't know what she did.
Something went wrong in this opening.
Yeah. So the bishop on g2 is looking the pawn on e4. Actually, Boris, yesterday we had Artur Kogan, another coach, in the broadcast with us, and he mentioned that he was also playing the g3 bishop g2 system against the Najdorf, and he decided to drop it at some point because he realized the bishop is not smiling on g2. That is Artur's expression. It's just staring at the pawn on e4 and not doing anything really. So he decided, okay, I need to change and play something else.
But also, you know, bishop on g2 is kind of consolidating your position.
Absolutely.
Maybe here white had to start with h3 or something, or maybe at least now. No, maybe Olivia got confused of the plans. This rook e1, it's playable if white will retreat his knight on b3 in the g3 system.
Here, on...
No, if move 7, she will retreat her knight to b3.
Ah, right.
Then whatever she does next will be logical.
Right.
But, a combination of knight on e2 and rook on e1 seems to me totally illogical.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Vladimir said, and we had to work on, that young players, these guys, they learn openings open, but without deep knowledge of ideas. And probably that's what happened. So these things happen, yeah, because this knight on e2, rook e1 has no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that's one sad knight. It's not smiling at all.
Yeah,
so...
because then after rook e1, this knight on d3, knight will be able to go, let's say, to d2, f1, e3, and then eventually land, you know, on d5 or f5, or at least to prevent any counterplay. But with the knight on e2, okay, what white had to do is to play maybe h3, g4, and get knight to g3.
Right. And now white is a bit slow to do this, so yeah, f3 is not really something that
is a real concession.
Yeah, definitely. So here Yali got a bit ambitious. I think he could have already played e5. He played queen c7, bishop g5, knight e7. So wait, yeah. So he is losing some tempos.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, just shuffling pieces around.
So it's knight c5, knight e7, and again knight c5, and again it's going to be knight e7.
But maybe d5 is possible now. bc d4.
Oh, wow. B takes and d4.
I don't know if it works or not.
If I take it, you can...
Or maybe no, bc, I can maybe even take on e4 and then on f3.
Oh, that...
A lot of possibilities.
Absolutely. So he takes on f4. I have to go with my queen. Okay, I can try to include this move. Doesn't...
But queen goes somewhere, yeah?
Yeah, queen goes. Gonna take, and this looks extremely scary for white
position. But he went back.
He went back. He didn't. So the knight goes.
Yeah.
Already.
But maybe he wants to play d5 now.
And
a different idea to attack b4, and if knight takes, take and play knight f6. Because, okay, when I learned to play Sicilian, I was taught that we have to look at d5 on virtually every move.
Right.
Maybe now d5 will be strong, no? Now it will be maybe even more strong. I think Olivia is playing this fire, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. So even if black is wasting tempos with knight c5, knight e7, knight c5, knight e7, white's position is hardly improving. So that's why Olivia here, she played bishop h3, removing the bishop from the sad position on the g2 square, looking at the pawn and trying to activate the bishop at least.
But
now again,
d5. d5, what can she do?
Yeah, d5.
She'll take this knight. I will take this knight and knight f6. The next move, some piece will take on d5 and position will collapse. And if
that's how it looks.
And if she'll take with the e-pawn immediately instead of knight d5, I think bishop b4, knight d5 is a threat, everything is pinned.
Right.
Maybe knight d5 it's not so much of a threat so far, but maybe rook c8 is a threat, queen c4 is a threat.
Doesn't look very good for Olivia.
And Yali played an opening very quickly. He has big advantage in time, yeah?
Yeah, he has at the moment something like 5 minutes, and Olivia is down on 2 minutes.
And he's already thinking for more than a minute, so he had more when he started considering his move now.
I think d5 is such a logical move, and like you already mentioned, Boris, this is something that you're taught to have a look at. Either I remember from my childhood, I was taught that either d5 or b5 in the neither that you should be looking at, and d5 is such a natural choice.
Yeah.
Yali is just calculating it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe let's do it one more switch. Between the players we haven't followed so much. Do you have any suggestions, Boris? Maybe, again, you are interested to see a certain player in action. Otherwise, I'll just choose run.
No, we homed we didn't see much. Maybe Christopher, you against Vaishali?
All right. We can do it. Christopher, you is playing with the white color against Vaishali. So this is the current position.
Vaishali is trying to help his brother against his rival, yeah? Her brother.
That's the team spirit in the family, right? So those of you who don't know, Vaishali is the sister of Prague. So
they have amazing family. I know two such a brilliant chess players in one family. It's really
right. I only don't know if they're playing from the same location. This I don't know really.
Yeah, it's a good question. Likely so.
Right.
If they're not on the tournament, I don't think with all this COVID situation, there is much room left for an option. So.
Right. So Queen E2 is played here.
Yeah. I think she's doing okay. Position is pawn on d6 is just a minor weakness.
So it shouldn't be enough, right?
I believe it's no problem. Also, rook endgames, especially double rook endgames, so have so big drawing trends that have to be okay. Yeah?
So I was dreaming, probably it's not going to happen though, but I was dreaming if I would be able to get something like this. And then according to Nemtsovich, I have two weaknesses, right? There's the pawn on h7, there's the pawn on d6. Maybe I can capitalize on that, but of course...
yeah, I think it's, I think it's possible. I don't think it's wise for Vaishali to trade a pair of rooks, yeah?
Yeah.
Because that will be really... Still, maybe it's defensible, but okay, because, when you'll attack h7 pawn, maybe I'll try to play d5, d4 somewhere. Because one of the g pawns is doubled, so...
Right.
So this game seems like a pretty important one. Maybe we have to switch.
Yeah, we can of course switch. I see there's an exciting attack happening in the Vincent's game, so maybe it's interesting to see if Vincent has managed to recover, because he has every single piece going after Balaji, the Gupati's king. So maybe we can see.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, maybe we can see a finish of this deadly look.
He's a piece up on top.
Oh, is he? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh,
I think he has black has two. He has two knights and Balazs has one.
Yeah. So it looks so. Okay, maybe there's not much excitement.
Correct one.
Not much excitement. There's unfortunately no rook d1 check because the queen on h5 defends the d1.
And if knight d5?
If knight d5? Wait, my bishop is still under attack.
Oh, I see. I found. He can take on f6. Knight f6, take on g6. Take king h8, and now he can take first on f6 and then return and grab d3 pawn.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's probably no more surprises in this game, yeah?
Yeah, you're right. All right, then maybe let's go back to the game which we started the final round broadcast, which is Merzen against Li Tingzhi, because it started as this very trendy Sicilian Najdorf.
Yeah.
So we will stick to this game until it finishes then.
Yeah, they have not so much time left on their clocks.
Yeah. Knight b5 was played by Li Tingzhi. Not many moves have been played while we left it. The pawn.
Yeah, but I think Black solved Li Tingzhi managed to solve her problems. Her pieces are excellently placed. Bishop on e5 is consolidating position. I will never go bishop f4. I will go queen e7. Try to, keep this forward post on e5 and open f line. Maybe bishop f4 is good, yeah? Maybe she's just repeating moves like queen d4, bishop e5. And she wants to repeat moves, yeah, maybe not so
something
much.
like this. But I was thinking even I could play something like queen e7. I just allow to take on e5. Is this a great idea? Maybe it's not such a great idea.
No, I will do it.
You'll do it, okay. Those are very weak dark squares. You have the great respect for weaknesses on the dark squares.
Yes. Also open f line, maybe also if Volodar will take, it will open d line for another room. But the repeated move seems like the game will be over with the repetition.
There is a fair chance. Maybe let's just wait and see if that's bishop f4 and now queen d4. And that's, I think, already truffled. I think so at least. Yeah, that's going to be a draw. I think both players are quite happy with the draw.
Yeah, but I think she has no choice because, fixed, because e5 already, queen c4. And,
But listen, Boris, I'm seeing a very tricky pawn endgame. Maybe there's some excitement happening in Christopher Boudieneux's game against Vaishali, and now somehow this is a pawn endgame.
Yeah, I think in Vaishali's place, I will not go to pawn endgame. I'll tell you why. Maybe pawn endgame is a draw, but it always requires precision. With the one pair of rook or two pairs of rook, I think by playing natural moves, she will be able to hold easily. And now she has half a minute, and she has to calculate, all the stampies. If she holds, she doesn't hold.
Maybe f5 could be a danger at some point.
Always she have to count with f5. Of course, with 25 seconds or so she has. It's impossible to calculate, so she'll have to make some moves. Maybe it will be a draw, maybe not, but I think she put herself quite in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, because it seems that she's the one who has to play it for the draw, because White has all the active possibilities at his disposal.
Yes, maybe White will play something like a4, then she'll have to decide if she plays a5 or not, or allows a5s and so f5, and it will be a race. I don't know.
And f5 he goes. He goes after f5, probably.
I think she has to take twice, because if the pawn would land on f6, it will be over, yeah?
So it would seem, yeah, unless of course black is
play c4, c5, and then
yeah, unless of course, yeah, unless black is building up a fortress, I don't think that's possible. So
I don't think.
Takes. King f7. Very tricky, but can I play c4 and then go around with a king? Now, I wanted to do this. I'm not sure how great is this idea. So a5, a4, king goes here, king goes here. I'm not in time. I wanted to play king h6 and g6.
No, but whenever you play king a, I don't think you have an extra tempo, yeah, to do it, yeah?
Yeah, I don't have it.
You need to Zugzwang.
Mm-hmm. The bar says a5 is losing. To be honest, I'm not sure why. I mean, king g6 felt a very natural move.
Yeah, especially with seconds, I would play king g6. Because maybe king h5, and now now it will be Zugzwang. Because if she'll play a4, Christopher will take, or king g4. Instead of king g4, I will play a4.
Yeah, this was winning already. I mean, a4 reaching the position I was aiming for.
Yes.
Now the pawn on d5 is lost. It was missed, so that's quite surprising.
But again, I think if she will lose a game, it will not because of she didn't play king g6, but because she went to pawn endgame.
Yeah.
One should not put herself in a position where utmost accuracy is required. When she can do otherwise.
Right. So
repeating.
Is it? Can I? G6, I'm probably going to be too slow, right?
Probably you will rather lose. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Didn't calculate it so far. Okay. A4.
Yeah, she has to take and king h5. Yeah, better.
Right. And I'm hearing that Prague is in danger again, and this time he is having major issues in his game against Luke Mendonca. So I believe this game should be finished in a draw. So I suggest to switch to Luke Mendonca's game against Prague and And
just 2 pawns up, yeah?
Yeah, just 2 pawns up. So whatever happened before.
Let's have a look how he got it. Probably King Xinjiang. Yeah. He played this King Xinjiang, which brought him some victories in the previous tournaments, and also, we looked at it
very quickly. I know they're.
sessions.
Yeah, I know they are playing in time trouble. I just want to see. Oh, there goes one pawn, but that's a sacrifice, right?
It's a sacrifice, but hard to understand what for, yeah? Because white is extra pawn, no real counterplay.
So that was not the
He can
blunder.
keep a fortress, but it's clear that there is no chance at all to overtake. So really very weird opening choice by Prague, yeah?
Right, but still it didn't seem so bad, and yet somehow, oh, there you go. There's the bishop g4, and yeah, Prague had to drop.
But okay, pawn down, okay. Sooner or later, your opponent will break through.
Right. So no, okay. Now this is completely winning. And
D6 maybe is the most. I like most D6.
D6 and King D5 next.
King
Oh,
D5.
wow. All right. Bishop E2. That's a careful move. White's going to play Bishop D3. The pawn on G6 is a weakness. There's no need to hurry. Now they chat. Yeah, he has to be played.
Yeah.
King G4,
King
H5.
G4, H5.
Yeah. Oh, H5.
Immediately played. Yeah, also good enough because he'll play GH. I will not do it, but GH G6, King F6, D6.
Yeah, I think so.
No. Really bad day for Prague. Yeah.
How many games did he lose? He lost 3 games.
He was lost after move 10. Yeah.
Yeah, and the game he drew, he was also in trouble with white. So a terrible day for Prague, and he's definitely not going to be in the lead after this game because I think his rivals have scored more points, and yet he's going to fight it out. But yeah, there's not much to see. But this is the final game, by the way. There's not much else to see because everybody else has finished. I'm seeing from the other results is that Liang has won his game against Sokolovsky. Morzinjiner was a draw. Kielbasa lost against...
No, it's...
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong round. Sorry. My mistake. I think we are going to see the results in a moment. I was just reading the wrong round. So what happened in this round is the Prague again lost another game against this time against Leon Mendonca, and he is going to be losing his place at the leaderboard, at least at the top. From another interesting result, maybe we have to mention that Vincent Kiemer managed to strike back with a victory. He's still in contention to fight for the leadership. Christopher Yu made a draw against Vaishali, but he was already winning in this pawn endgame. He missed it, and Vaishali, as Boris mentioned here with us, is that shouldn't have went for this pawn endgame at all. And there's the standings after today. Vincent Kiemer is suddenly a sole leader of the tournament. He stands at 10 points, and plus he has this extra spare round, right?
Yes. Compared to Prague. He doesn't have an extra round.
Yeah, only to Prague. And Christopher Yu, he has climbed to the shared second place together with Prague. Both have 9.5 points, and also Avonder Liang is not too far behind with 8 points, and Leon Mendonca, thanks to the victory over Prague in this game, he has climbed to 7.5 points and is in sort of contention to get closer to the leaders. And for the team rankings, as you can see, Team Kramnik has a lead over Team Polgar, at least in the Hou Yifan chess challenge, which is 54 points against Team Polgar's 46.5. But in the overall rankings, I think everything already is pretty much official that Team Kramnik even cannot get past the huge gap that Team Polgar has in overall rankings. Well, I mean, Boris, it was a wonderful day, wasn't it? So many exciting, interesting games.
Not for Prague.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It was not a wonderful day for Prague.
Yeah, for Prague, somebody has a wonderful day and somebody has a terrible day.
Yeah, but okay, a lot of interesting games, yeah?
Absolutely, and some blunders as well. So I remember, yes.
Yeah, but I think it's a time control, they are unavoidable.
Of course. So the time control is 10 minutes plus 5 seconds. Once every single player gets to the time trouble, mistakes are bound to happen. And we saw in some of the games today is that there were even rook blunders, etc. I still remember Christopher used bishop e3 against Balaji. Balaji, I think. Yeah, indeed. So everything can happen. But we have still 4 games, I believe. We have still 4 games.
4 rounds. Tomorrow's are 4 rounds to play, yeah?
Yep. The players are going to finish the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge, which, again, let me remind you, is the 4th part of the 4th tournament of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour, where players are divided in 2 teams. One team is Team Vladimir Kronik. The second team is Julius Polgar. And they are fighting not only for prizes, they are fighting not only for a chance to qualify for one of the Meltwater's Champions Chess Tour tournaments, but also the winner of the overall rankings is going to get a place into 2021-2022 Meltwater Champions Chess Tour overall tournaments. And the best 8 players of the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour, they're going to qualify for a knockout tournament, which is going to take place this October. But still, we have 4 games to play tomorrow. I believe it starts the same time as 4 p.m. And we are going to find out who is going to win the Hou Yifan Chess Challenge. Maybe, Boris, some final words from your side.
Yeah, I think tomorrow will be a really exciting day. So let's wait for tomorrow. We'll see each other tomorrow. And we'll enjoy some more chess tomorrow.
Yes, and
I'll be with you tomorrow as well.
Very happy to hear that. I wanted to mention that Boris will be joining us also tomorrow. So it was an absolute pleasure to do the commentary together with you. And I guess see you tomorrow and have a wonderful evening.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone. A wonderful morning to some of our viewers, maybe in the US. Yeah? Wonderful day and see you tomorrow.
And goodbye.
If the rook goes to f7, then there is still
Hours on g4. So after king to f6 and king to f2.
Tenemos el rey ahí en e8 un poco mal, no podemos enrocar corto.
Y también se puede hacer, por ejemplo, alfil g4.
Защиту. Но пока что они этого не делают. Играют ферзь d2, рокировка и теперь играют c4.
Thank you so much for the lessons.
Gracias por las clases.
Gracias por las clases.
Want to raise your chess to a new level? Challenge Yourself is an exclusive, innovative experience designed for Chess24 Premium members. Train like a champ with a unique set of lessons prepared by the coaches of the challengers. Boris, Gelfand and co will help you improve your chess. Play a champ. Play a grandmaster each day in Banter Blitz. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity from June 10th. Go premium and challenge yourself.